Nuclear missile ready. Nuclear missile ready. Nuclear missile ready. Nuclear missile ready.
Hello and welcome everybody to another day of StarCraft 2. Today we have the Ultimate Showdown, Group A. It's going to be a pretty darn good group, I'd say. We have first up a best of 3 between Sort of and Zune. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. With me is a person who might be able to keep me in check here and there a little bit. It's none other than Snoopy. Snoopy, say hello, man.
Hey, welcome guys. Hope you guys are having a great day and happy to be here to co-cast with you.
Awesome stuff. Yeah, I'm glad that you could join me. There's going to be a whole lot of StarCraft 2 these upcoming 3 days, and I would not probably have a throat left if I was supposed to do it all alone. So yeah, glad you are with me, and let's see. I think they did at least the vetoing process up to the banning part. Now they're at the point where they are picking maps, so that is good to see. As moving on pretty nicely.
Yeah, looks like sort of has vetoed Internal Empire as well as Ephemeron, while Zaun, I know you kind of refer to him as Zune, but
Yeah.
I refer to him as Zaun.
Sound?
He's
Is
has
this based on
vetoed
anything or? Sorry.
yeah, like noun, like
Noun? Oh, sound.
yeah,
Yeah,
kind
I
of
get it now.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, so he's decided to veto Zen and Triton, so those
Yep.
are the maps that has been vetoed so far.
Yep. Yep. Okay, so we have our maps as well now. Starting off on Nightshade, first of all. World of Sleep is actually the second one, and Simulacrum going to be the third one. Alright, alright. Let's get this show on the road then, I'd say. Why make everybody wait any amount of time? I'm just gonna get a quick check in whether or not we're still linked up with Team Liquid and all of that. Should be okay now, I think. Yeah, we're fine. We're fine. Looking good. Looking solid. Alright. I should probably put the players in here as well. There we go. Okay. Okay.
I just looked at the stream and I love that you had the movie picture of me.
Yeah. I mean, this is the one you gave me a while, like the previous time we casted together, and
Ah,
unfortunately, I do not have the technological capabilities to also capture Discord at the same time. My stream just goes berserk, and that's why I have to resort to this. All right,
oh
both
no,
players
it's
are ready.
perfect, perfect.
I could use Skype, by the way, so maybe that's something for the future use. We could try out. I think that works. But yeah, for some reason Discord just messes it all up for me. So, you know what? It means that you can just sit in your pajamas as well, which might be a nice thing for you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Don't have to worry too much about it. All right. Game number 1. Do you have any predictions here? For sort of or sound?
Well, you know what? There is the kind of the distance between the natural as to the third base,
Mm-hmm.
and I think you can very well see Zound, who's the Protoss player, do maybe a glaive at depth timing. We've seen Zess in the IEM Katowice, where the recent tournament, big tournament, where he did a big, kind of a big depth timing with glaive the upgrades, and so
Mm-hmm.
we might see that from Zound.
Yeah, it could be very likely possibility. I mean, they are the pro players. They just played one of the, well, not the biggest tournaments now, I guess. And yeah, it would make sense actually to kind of take the inspiration from there. But also, it might mean that sort of might be expecting that type of stuff as well.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely. I mean, I remember the game between Sero and Zess, and interestingly enough, Sero actually had a wall off at the ramp area. So we'll see if sort of decides to go for that wall off, like how Sero did. Unfortunately for Sero, it didn't work out, but it was definitely a neat trick to kind of slow down the depth timing and the depth push.
I felt
Anyhow,
intense.
yeah. All right, let's go ahead and introduce our players here.
Yeah, in the bottom right, we have a teamless player right now from Sweden. He is sort of.
And spawning at the top left corner of the map, we have our red Protoss from Team Alpha X. It is Sound.
Lovely stuff, lovely stuff. I'm excited for Sound. Sound, actually, I thought he was a little bit of a newer player, but he has been around for quite a while, hasn't he?
Yeah, in fact, He did recently join Alpha X last month on February 8th. This coming Sunday, which will be March 8th, will be the 1 month anniversary. And yeah, he's been pretty active in terms of been playing around and has
Yeah.
definitely made a name for himself.
I mean, he's been in Prime, he's been in SK Telecom, right before he went into Alpha X, and you know what? I'm kind of curious to see. I mean, he's been ramping it up as well in the IM as well. He did pretty darn good, honestly. His matches looked pretty nice, I have to
Yeah,
say.
I think his current EPT rank, which is the ESL Pro Tour rank, is 30th with 58 points. So, I mean, still early in the year. There's still a lot of tournaments that hasn't been played yet, but
True.
definitely a good start.
Yeah. That kind of shows that you are capable of taking games of, well, most players, but really much. There might be only, like, just a couple of players where you aren't all that favored against, or, yeah, just people that you are, it's very unlikely that you'll win a series against. Against sort of, I don't know, sort of does play kind of his own style, doesn't he? He's a very defensive player. He loves to play it slow and steady. I've seen him win the craziest of games with a comeback against some other players, but mostly because, well, maybe they didn't really understand his style as much. But, yeah, just loves the lurkers, loves just setting up defenses and taking really effective trades that way.
Yeah, definitely. You can see this right now. You see sort of kind of researching overlord speed, getting the scout on the Stargate, making sure that he gets all the information and start to posture his queens to defend as well as throw down some spore crawlers.
Mm-hmm.
And here we go. First Oracle goes in, does not get much done as there are two queens parked right at the outskirts.
Yeah, nothing too much happening there. Ooh, what happened? So I guess he got cancelled. The shade. I was following the shades and it teleported me back to the Protoss base. Interesting. Anyway, they do find some damage here at the third base. Are gonna get that spore crawler as well. That's pretty nice. Oh no, actually, quick cancel. Some sort of. But we'll get a queen, perhaps, potentially. Oh, it's getting so low. He wants it. He's out for blood, but has to retreat there. Ah, let's get another drone.
Ooh, just barely saving those drones. That queen, which is down to like 9 life.
Yeah.
Some really nice micro there by sort of.
Yeah, that was really just clutching it. Honestly, that defense there for that queen, running away by the skin of her teeth, managing to escape. This third base from Zaun is being put down. The circling immediately spots it, and that is the sign for sort of to send the rest of his circlings over here.
Oh yeah, actually, Zaun is going for a second Stargate, so he's going for a 2 Stargate Phoenix play.
Oh my dear lord. That is the, well, I mean, it's not Adept Glaives, that's for sure.
But I mean, with the amount of adepts, I think sort of might start thinking, oh man, does he have glaive adepts, a glaive researching or something? But nope, it is 2 Stargate Phoenixes.
He doesn't even have a Twilight Council yet. I mean, maybe the adepts are just here in case of a circling counter aggression, because the Phoenixes don't do all that well against those.
Yeah, I think just to help defend the third base as well as kind of start harassing as he is moving out with these adepts. The Overlord does scout the second Stargate, so additional spore color, maybe some additional queens, maybe a Hydralistan or a Spire should be plotted down soon. But in the meantime, we do have a bunch of adepts coming into the third base here, getting a couple of drones.
Naughty little shade into that mineral line and quick pull away, but still 6 drones immediately fall here. 7. Never mind, and shading on continues. Well, gets a reasonable position against the wall here. The circlings aren't going to be enough, and that's an open another mineral line here that now has to, well, run away from the minerals, meaning it's not going to do all too much mining.
Man, the kind of the Zero blocking of the adepts, what I was explaining in the early game, I think sort of wish he had that kind of wall up now, but
yeah,
finally we'll be able to clean up these. Maybe, oh, actually no, these 3 adepts still alive.
Yeah, still going strong, making sure that now the main base isn't gonna have any mining happening. And again, once more, oh, even using a status trap there, only catching 2, but still valiant efforts. And that's so many works that did go down here in combination with the adept pressure and the Phoenixes on the left side.
Yeah, look at the units lost tab. I mean, this is 6 adepts and 25 dead drones. I mean, the mineral loss has been just
Ooh.
over staggering.
Let's put that away for our Zerg players here. That's it's gonna make them faint a little bit here. But yeah, I mean that's gotta feel pretty darn good for Zaun here. His follow-up is gonna be interesting. He's putting down a lot of gateways and he's making immortals. So I think he did scout out for the Roadrunner, right? Yeah, okay, so he did see the Roadrunner, and I think, you know what, with the Zealot charge and those immortals and the incredible work elite that he just obtained, he might just be able to finish sort of off here.
Yeah, I mean, right now he doesn't really even need to kind of commit to an attack. He can just like continue to expand, start establishing his cannons and additional gateways. Just kind of start macroing up and go for maybe a timing push once his charge is finished upgrading, as well as +1 attack. I mean, currently he's kind of actually throwing down a spire as he does finally decides to get some probably some corruptors to defend against these phoenixes.
Yeah, I don't think he has much else of a choice, does he? I mean, they're just roaming around Cat 3 right now. Normally you do see a lot of Hydralisk as well being added into the mix, because you already are going to go for those upgrades anyway, due to the roaches, but I mean, I'm kind of interested in seeing how these Corruptors are going to work out, especially because, you know what, the Hydralisk at least have the benefit of also being effective against the ground forces. Corruptors not so much.
Yeah, I mean they could like spew on those buildings, kind of vomit on them until they die. But before those corruptors comes out, there is a big Protoss force coming to attack. They're at the fourth base of the Zerg.
Coming in, the Zealots do have charge, right? Yeah, they do. Okay, that's just, I think it activated and he stopped them from running in there for a moment. So a little bit of miss micro there. Oh, the Queen's gunning down the War Prison, but it stays alive. Great force fields there, keeping the Queens at bay. And yeah, that might just be it. GG is called. A very strong game there by Zaun. I mean, good amount of aggression there, forcing sort of to try and remake all those drones, and at the same time, Zaun just making a big army, and pushing right in at the advantage that he created for himself. So very well done there.
Yeah, I think Nightshade, one of those maps that are similar to like a map like Simulacrum, where the base is just so spread out that adept glaive timings are just really strong. You don't even need the glaive upgrades. You could just go with a bunch of adepts and just shade back and forth. And as you can see, as Zaun presented there and displayed there, it's a really effective strategy on Nightshade.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, yeah, you could definitely see, like you mentioned, those faraway bases, making it very difficult for sort of to defend all locations at once. Especially against quick units such as Phoenixes and Adepts just shading back and forth.
Yeah, and here we have game number 2 will be on World of Sleepers.
World of Sleepers. One of those maps that people just kind of turn around towards, right? At the first, people didn't really appreciate World of Sleepers all that much. Now, it looks like more people are okay with it.
You could definitely say that people definitely slept on this map.
Yeah. had to sleep it over for a night there for a moment and decide, you know what, it's not that bad for us against Zergs. It's alright, we can make it work. We can use different tools in our arsenal and we should be okay. I'm kind of happy because it's a beautiful map, honestly.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, there's some tricky elements that you do see the little mineral patch between the natural base as well as the kind of the standard dirt base. You gotta mine that in order to start mining from it. But if not, then, or not the third base, I'm sorry, the natural fourth base. And then if you do not go for it, you can expand to the other bases that are easier to access, but they only have one gas, so I'm not sure if that's optimal.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. I guess that's one of those things which made this map more attractive to other non-Zerg races, of course. Those single gases used to be rich Vespian geysers, which used to be a big deal for Zergs, and now it's, you know, it kind of equalizes the playing field here.
Yeah, we actually seen in the previous past when the Vespian geyser were rich, where the Zerg will actually expand maybe even using their natural base as at the Vespine
Yeah.
Geyser base, and it goes for like some big roach attack or something, or
Mm-hmm.
something gas heavy.
Yeah, and then you can still have a crazy amount of minerals too, because you have just 3 more drones mining away at those minerals. Anyway, let's quickly introduce these players still. In the top right, I'm gonna do the top right this time. We have the red Protoss from Korea, Alpha X's own Zone, or Zone. We still can't, well, I still have to decide how I'm gonna call him exactly, but maybe at one point he's gonna tell me, hopefully.
And here, spawning at the bottom left, we have the player who is looking to type the series and push it to an ace match, the third match. It is sort of. And look at here, we have our Stargate once again by Zaun or Zune, however you like to call him. And I think, last game it worked out pretty well for him. So no surprise here that he'll go for Stargate opening once again. And also Stargate opening, one of those openings that's just relatively safe and common.
Yeah, I agree, and especially like on big maps like these, makes it a lot more attractive to me to use those quick mobile units.
Yeah. Now, once again, actually, sort of going for that Overlord speed. What do you think of sort of going for early Overlord speed? Do you think he should have invested in something else, like maybe a link speed or something, faster layer or something? Or
I think he feels like he just kind of failed the previous game in a way by not scouting the attack coming in or the amount of phoenixes coming in time. So maybe this time around he just wants to make sure that he knows exactly what is happening, and then he feels like he should be able to hold off sound.
yeah, looks like he does at least scout the Stargate here before this Overlord dies. Say goodbye to this Overlord.
Almost giving that probe a little bit of a shower there.
Oh man, I do not want to shower in Overlord.
Exploded overlords, yeah.
Yeah.
2 adepts coming in again. Seems pretty regular this time around. We don't have the... Oh wait, where's the Oracle? There's the Oracle. The Oracle a little bit further behind this time around. And sort of just kind of doing the gas trick so he does not lose that one drone there. I don't think he wants the... Yeah, okay, there we go. Does cancel that. Phoenix on the bottom. I guess it is because he went for the Phoenix first this time, isn't it?
Yeah. He opened up Oracle last game. This time around, he's opening up Phoenix first. And that's just to at least deny the Overlords. And as you can see, there's not a lot of Overlords. There's actually one sneaky Overlord at the top, though. So he will at least get a secondary scout, which will be helpful because last game, he had a really late scout on the double Stargate play. This time around, he will be able to see at least there's only one Stargate, but it's still producing Phoenixes. So he should at least be able to prepare better this time around.
By the way, one question. Did you see whether or not Zan went for the second Stargate before he went for the third? To me, it feels like that third base is a lot quicker than the previous game.
Yeah, he definitely went for the third base a lot quicker this time around. I remember last game when he took the third, I was like, oh, that's actually a pretty late third.
Yeah.
But he's changing up just a tad bit.
I mean, it looks very similar, the builds overall, but it's definitely different. Like that third base, he knows about that third base timing, so he should be aware that it's not what he's seen the previous game around here. So that's some big intel for him. And maybe, you know what, I feel like he was kind of expecting something more similar to this, and then what happens actually in the previous game.
Yeah, I love this, and I just love those kind of builds where they kind of open similarly, but they deviate to 2 different types of build orders. I think you can really play a lot of mind games, and you see forcing sort of to produce a lot of units instead of drones. And in fact, he's actually throwing down a Nidus Swarm here, so we might actually see some Nidus play in action.
Yeah.
And oh no, there's actually a lot of dark areas in the Protoss main base, so this Nidus play can potentially work and deal a lot of damage.
It definitely could. It looks like it's just going to be a whole bunch of circlings here that are going to run into the main base, and that's very difficult to deal with for a Protoss that is still a little bit on low tech. I guess the large amount of adepts is definitely going to help out here, but they are at between, well, the natural and the third base, so it's going to be a while before they actually are able to start really helping out there in the main base. Queens coming out as well. Alright, that's a whole lot of queens. Here we go, coming through, marching right on top of all those pylons, trying to cancel any type of production that Zaun has available right now.
Oh, he's evacuating all his pros from the main base, and he's trying to defend in all areas. I mean, Lane's getting into the natural, Link's at the third base, Queen's at the main. Oh my god, sort of is just everywhere.
Yeah, this is not looking all too good for Zaun here. I mean, I guess the third base is going to be okay here, ultimately. It looks like that's going to be safe, but the main base, it's just gone. It's like it's never was there. It's just a big puddle of goo right now because of all those creep tumors up there. And, well, the army of Sound can now march up into the main base, but there is another group of Zerglings just waiting to see that army trying to take on the, well, the Zerg army at the top here. Most likely they will try to go in, and as soon as he notices that the army of Sound is here, and there they go. I mean, this is a good engagement here for Sound, but ultimately, I mean, those Zerglings might have been a little bit late, but, well, they're still coming in. Well, alright, I guess they are a little bit drunk Zerglings there. Doesn't matter too much.
Yeah, the Queens get cleaned up, but it did clean up a bunch of the Phoenixes, so that's pretty nice. And now Zaun, he's stuck in his two bases with creep all over his main, while sort of on the other side, he's got his fourth base up, ready to go and ready to be mined.
Yeah. Also, his +1 got cancelled. The charge upgrade got cancelled. Pretty much everything, right? I think he was making a Templar Archives there as well. All of that he has to now start remaking. He's incredibly delayed, and sort of he can just kind of macro up here on these 3 base economy. I'm not completely sure what he's going for. It might just be a follow-up attack, actually. There's a lot of roaches in the production tab. Or maybe he's just afraid that Zaun is going to go for a counter-attack himself, because what else can you do really right now, right? As Zaun, other than trying to put on some pressure against your opponents.
Yeah, I mean, the Baneling Nest is just morphing in here, so but at the very least, you won't have any Baneling speed. So Zaun might be thinking, maybe I should attack, but he's going to think smarter. He's going to actually retreat. He knows that the Nidus play is still a threat. And, yep, there we go. The Nidus Worm has been spotted.
We'll take that out. It is still keeping Zaun in his main base as well, though, as sort of can just casually take another base here, going up to 4 bases now. But Zaun, it looks like, yeah, he's just gonna go for the attack. I don't see any probes really in production anymore. He's just making more units right now. But so is sort of, he realizes that this is the chance for Zaun to still make a win in this game, and he's prepping for it. So this is gonna be extremely difficult for Zaun to really make work. It's a pretty tough army for the Zerg, just standing here waiting for this to come over.
Yeah, look at that creep spread. It's so dangerous for the Protoss to engage in. He's gonna have to be really careful. He's trying to split off a few Zealots charge lot at the third base, but here we go. Looks like Zaun is ready to commit to the attack. Baneling's rolling in. Ooh, that actually doesn't get too much connections.
All coming in from behind, though. A lot of those Banelings sitting the Archons there, but you know what? Actually, this is still kind of working out for Zaun, but for how long can he keep this up? There's more reinforcements for the Zerg coming in pretty soon.
Yeah, and this time around, centrifugal hooks will be done, as well as +2 melee. So, if sort of will have to, of course, sack this base, but if he can macro up or mass up enough army to pretty much defend against this, he should still be fine.
Yeah. And in he comes, rolling through. Those Archons are getting pretty low. They need to be targeted down, but the Whoppers and Micro is saving, well, some of them. Be a bit better, but yeah, it does get cleaned up here. A couple of Zealots were trying to run by into the third base of sort of as well, but Queens were just waiting there. And honestly, I was kind of surprised that sort of did leave those Queens there. That is how do you call it? It's very disciplined, honestly. Like I would have just grabbed everything I could and just bring it towards my third base or my fourth base. I don't even know. Yeah, it's fourth base.
Yeah.
You know, and not worry about anything else but holding that attack, and then maybe just losing an entire mineral line to those zealots running by. What is this drone doing here? What in the world? This feels like a... You see this beneath the third base?
Oh, yeah, probably a bad rally there.
Maybe.
As this Oracle here, this random Oracle will at least get some drones here at the bottom base at the 7 o'clock position. Some nice decent, actually 10, 11.
Yeah.
Oh, nice transfuse, saving that 11th drone.
This one Oracle did more than the entire Protoss army combined.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a feels bad, but honestly, might also be because sort of was prepping for that ground attack pretty much. Right. Well, I mean, it still feels a little bit like it's to play for both these players. I guess upgrade-wise and tech-wise, Zan may want to be a little bit further ahead than he is right now. But other than that, having killed the base, having taken out quite a couple of those drones, it feels like it's playable again for him.
Yeah, I think that Oracle has definitely at least gave him some hope. But look out and kind of focus a little bit on that little 2 Overlord drop at the top. I think that can actually get a bunch of probes. That can definitely swing the favor back into sort of. So we'll see how many, if Zaun does pay attention to this. Oh, there he goes. He does see it.
Yeah.
Some nice reaction there.
Is this something that catches Terran plays? Oh my god! Oh my god, those probes came back too soon. Okay, whew, that was close.
Oh, but the natural. Oh my god, those probes gotta run. Oh.
8 probes still go down. I mean, yeah. That feels a little bit unnecessary damage being taken there by Zaun. Perhaps because we did see him react very early on, but I guess with the 2 Overlords spreading out like that, it became very difficult for him to know where to send his probes to.
Yeah, and now we do see that he's going to go ahead and establish that middle base, the 4th base at the middle area. He's going to have to put his cannon up, make sure it doesn't die. And oh, we have this Oracle still zapping away.
We just saw sort of using all his biles at once, trying to get that Oracle. A desperate attempt to try and protect his forces here, but it's alright. Okay, another follow-up attack actually coming in here for Zaun. Storm is ready, quite a couple of Archons. Immortals, this is a scary army, honestly. There is still only, actually there's only 1 sentry in here, so not a lot of force fields this time around, and Baneling speed is ready too. So that's going to make this a whole lot more easy for sort of to defend as well. And it looks like Zaun is not even going to try. He realizes that he might actually have to retreat here. Not sure. Do you feel like that was the right call to move back there? Or?
I'm not sure. I think he could have taken that on. I mean, he did have a few storms, even though he didn't have a lot of sentries. But it's hard to say because he still doesn't know entirely where the army is. There's a lot of creep around, so it's definitely scary. So I mean, you know, we casters, we got the bird's eye view, so we can see everything. But I think you know, in the first player view of Zaun, it's difficult to say.
Yeah, that's definitely a good point. We take it for granted sometimes, or at least I do, as a caster, just being like, oh, well, you can see he has only this amount of units. Just but alright, yeah. Anyway, we do see a Great Spire on the way for sort of, and already a fleet beacon as well being added here by Zaun. So they're both going into their late game tank pretty remarkably close together. Of course, sort of, I mean, he has a bit of a bigger bank here, so it's gonna be easier for him to completely transition very quickly. But yeah, I'm kind of curious to see what's gonna come out of that fleet beacon. Do you think we're gonna see carriers here, or just Tempest?
I think he's gonna probably react to what he sees first. I mean, because you could definitely, you know, the Zerg can definitely go for a Muta switch, but in fact he's going for a Broodlord, army. So you definitely want to start getting some Tempest, maybe some carriers if you can if he can do so. I mean, he still has a bunch of Archons and Templars to protect those carriers from the Corruptors.
Yeah.
But we'll see if... Oh, looks like he does get a Mothership as well.
Yeah, he's completely aware that there are Brute Lords out now, so yeah, he still goes for those carriers.
Yeah, I'm actually a little bit worried for sort of. His army doesn't seem like the best against what Zaun has, but with the Brood Lords coming in, it looks like he should be safe for the time being.
Yeah.
But it looks like carriers will be the tech of choice for Zaun.
Yeah, I mean, he is getting those air weapons as well. And it should be pretty strong against still like what Sort of has, right? He needs to add in more Corruptors, but then again, I don't know if Sort of is aware. Okay, he is now aware. Those officers did actually see the carriers being built, so he is completely in know that a strong Protoss air army is on the way. So maybe that is going to give him a little bit of a idea to start pushing now, start ramping up the aggression before the air army is fully here. Try to trade out as many of those roaches and stuff like that you don't really need all too much of anymore. Actually, how many does he still have? He only has 6 and, well, 11 Ravagers, I suppose.
Yeah, he definitely want to start trading them because those Ravagers are kind of taking up supply that he can invest in something else.
Yeah, exactly. And then preferably you want to be cost efficient as well with those units. A little bit of a struggle here between the two Brood Lords. I think that was 2 Brood Lords for dying, right? Yeah, that's a nice big one.
Yeah. He's got over eager there. Did not protect the Brood Lords underneath that the Ravagers were on the left side. But as I say that, there is a Nidus Swarm coming at the 1 o'clock position, but will be scattered fairly easily. It should be shut down.
Oh my god, a run by, but with 4 Immortals as well in his bottom base here. That's interesting. Okay,
nice.
the Nidus Swarm does get killed off, but yeah, these Immortals actually... This is so smart as well from Zaun. I mean, those Immortals, they're not going to be all too great against Brood Lords. So you might as well try to use them in a different way, and if you lose them, you know what, you don't lose too much because you don't really need them anymore.
Yeah, that's exactly what Sort of actually needs to do on his end. He needs to trade out these Ravagers and Banelings for something else, just like these Immortals are. And he will finally at least clean up these Immortals.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's one of the most important things now for those Ravagers to still do. They are more mobile than Brood Lords, I suppose, but yeah, other than that, I guess you don't really want to remake them. He's still remaking Zerglings, which is a bit of a more useful unit, just because it can run around and try to do damage on locations that Zaun is trying to set up, right? Before it has it's filled with Protoss defensive structures.
Yeah, but I think Zaun, he's defended up really well in each of his bases. He's got a lot of cannon and shield batteries. I think the main thing he wants to do with those Lings is to make sure he gets some more of them to Banelings and then try to get on top of the High Templars during the engagement, because those High Templars can storm the hell out of those Brood Lords and Corruptors. So you definitely want to get on top of those High Templars. In the meantime, we do have a Stalker force here at the bottom. Will be potentially be able to take down this base. It's going to be close.
The Zerglings do come here in time. Guess that's another use for those Zerglings that we kind of failed to mention. But yeah, against run-bys and stuff like that, of course, they are they the quickest units in the game? I think they are, right? Pretty much, maybe Phoenixes, but
yeah, I think they're the fastest units. But anyhow, we do have a big army here and big engagement on top of these Brood Lords and Corruptors. And oh my goodness, look at this Protoss Force just evaporating all the Brood Lords and Corruptors. So much Archons taking doing a lot of splash damage, and Sort of is on the back end.
Yeah, that's not good. He lost all his Vipers as well. I don't think he really expected this army to already be here in this amount of force. Now he's desperately trying to make Corruptors to try and combat this, but with this amount of Archons and of course the High Templar underneath as well, it's going to be very difficult. And there it is, Zaun taking 2 games in a row off of Sort of. All right, that's the first series done, Snoopy.
Yeah, really well done there by Zaun. After that crazy Nidus play by Sort of, was able to crawl himself back. And was able to win it there at the end. And unfortunately for Sort of, he didn't really have a lot of creep tumor at the north side. So the Protoss came undetected, and I think kind of caught sort of off guard.
Hmm.
And his Brew Lords, his Corruptors, they're strong, but with all the Vipers gone as well, just wasn't enough. He didn't even have a bank at the end as well to remax and clean up the rest of the Protoss army. So yeah, that was pretty much GG. And Zound will advance to the winners versus winners match in this Group A.
Indeed, he will. All right, and let me just do some overall thingamajig. Just talking to the players about the veto process. A is a dream and B is true.
All right, while you talk about or do the map veto process with the players, just want to remind everyone we do have a match Reno page for this Alpha Pro Series Ultimate Showdown. As you can see in the chat area, there's a Matcherino link as well as a coupon code AXCOM56. You enter that into the Matcherino, and that will add 50 cents for free to the overall prize pool and help support the players. So definitely head on over there. And you can, of course, log in with multiple ways into Matcherino. You can log in with your Blizzard account, your Twitch account, your Google account, plenty of different ways for you to enter into the Matcherino and enter the coupon code.
Alright, awesome. Apparently they already done the vetoing process here.
Oh, sweet.
They were spot on, and it's hard to say what they are saying exactly, but it's some Korean. It's some Korean. True versus Dream will be our next one. And the maps we're going to be playing on will be Simulacrum, Eternal, and Ephemeron. So it's nice to see different maps being chosen here, actually.
Yeah.
Get a lot of variation.
For sure. And a variation of matchup as well. We had a PVZ last series. This time around, we're going to have ourselves a TVZ.
Yeah, and you called out the Matcherino. Did you do a sponsor as well, or?
Oh no, I didn't talk about a sponsor. Why don't you go ahead and
I will. Yeah, all right. So so right now we want to give a huge shout out to G Fuel, one of our newest sponsors, the official drink of esports. Since 2004, G Fuel has been providing top gamers and gaming individuals like PewDiePie and Dr. Disrespect with energy, focus, and endurance. They've just released their new French vanilla coffee flavor, which is a fusion of everything that is caffeine. And, well, I mean, if that doesn't give you energy, I don't know what will. Anyway, G Fuel adds to our prize pool for our events, and each of the quests completed on the Matcherino page as well helps support our community and the tournament overall, so also the players. So make sure to head on over to the Matcherino, like Snoopy said, and yeah. Alright, lovely stuff. I'm gonna see whether or not these players are still ready to go. They are itching to go, it would look like. Alright, good luck, have fun, it's cold. And, okay, I mean, it was a pretty quick series between Sort of and Zound. I was expecting a longer one, but Zound's kind of army style, I think it worked out very well against Sort of. It's not really allowing Sort of to play with the lurkers that I know that he loves to do, that he does very well as well. And, yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know if that was coincidence or...
I definitely would have to credit that little sneaky Oracle there that got the 10 drone kills. I think that
true.
really helped turn the game around. But anyhow, this is a different series with different players as well as a different map. So here we go.
In the top left side, we have from Brave Star Gaming, the blue Terran player. It's none other than the Korean Dream. Sounds weird, the Korean Dream. That's like the entirety of Korea's dreaming about. Anyway.
Anyhow, here at the bottom right, we have our lovely red Zerg player from Team Storm Gaming. It is true. true Korean.
True.
Going with the Korean dream.
Shurian. Yeah, yeah. I'm not sure.
Anyhow, both these players, they have been playing or been pretty active. Currently, True's EPT rank is 48 with 15 points,
Mhm.
while Dream
Game
here.
paused.
Oh, sorry, pause there.
Oh my god. Oh my, what could it be, Snoopy? Could it be a cat?
I hope so.
It probably was. Cats on the keyboard here by Dream. Otherwise, there would only be 2 Ps.
Well, we all know cats are more important than StarCraft, right? So
Game resumed.
sometimes.
I mean, that one photo that everyone is using with the cat in the marine suit. That cat probably is the most important one. Maybe a bit more
Yeah.
important, but I mean the other ones, I don't know. I don't know if they care much about StarCraft. So
But anyhow, we have, of course, like as I was saying,
my.
Dream here. He's ranked 67th in the EPT with 5 points. So, yeah, we'll see how these players duke it out.
This is a very quick 3 base from True here. 2 minutes. I mean, you see it sometimes. It just doesn't happen all too often. Especially while also having the gas and the spawning pool. I guess you kind of need the speed upgrade, right? Just to kind of keep this safe.
Yeah, unfortunately for True, he will lose an Overlord here, while his speed is way late, or way later down. So there's not going to be any speed lings to defend against that Overlord from dying. But hey, the good pick off by Dream will transition into Hellion play, as well as a starport behind it.
Now, something I once learned from a Terran player much better than I is that sometimes when you see a Terran going for, well, as a Zerg player, when you see the Terran going for the very heavy Marines to try and deny scouting, in a way, it's more likely that they are going to do something cheeky. So maybe we're going to see a battlecruiser making its appearance here, as we are seeing just a singular production of Marines here. But that's just, oh no, actually it's just the medevac. All right. I mean, that's a little bit sneaky too. Oh my god, it's an armory too. Okay, so it's something else sneaky.
Yeah, this is looking like a Hellbat timing or something.
Mm-hmm.
But as you say, if you do see a Marine opening by Terran, it's usually something tricky, as the gas has to go somewhere. I mean, there's a reason why the repair didn't get made. So I think True's Spidey senses should be tingling.
Yeah. Also because of the, well, if you don't have the Reaper, you don't have that much scouting-wise. So you need to have something else that kind of shows what your opponent is doing, right? Or you're just going to have to do something that's so early on. It doesn't matter too much what your opponent is doing, because you're just going to try to do your own thing and try to make your opponents play on your own terms.
Yeah. And this is actually one of the maps that's easier for Reapers to get in. There's actually 2 entrances, but hold that thought. We have a big push here by our Terran. He's got a few Marines, turned them Hellions into Hellbats. We'll see how much damage he can get done.
Marines were in front of the Hellbats there for a moment, but he does solve that situation. There's nothing here really that can stop this from doing a hell of a lot of damage here. I love the micro with the medevac as well, saving the Hellion and Hellbat coming in. And oh my dear lord, this is one hell of a barbecue so far. Not too many drones have gone down, but the amount of lings being killed off here is absolutely crazy. And that's causing True not to make any, well, drones of course, but you still want to have at least a little bit of drone damage here, I would say. It's not really happening.
I would say this is actually pretty good for True. No drones lost, and he only defended with lings, so only mineral units. And you know what? Dream doesn't have dirt base. He doesn't have any Banshee follow-ups or anything like that. So yeah, True with a really nice hold there.
Yeah, I mean, he did lose 50 Zerglings, but I mean, that's a worthy sacrifice, I'd say, for not losing, well, only 1 drone.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's ahead 40 to 32 workers. And he does have to make sure he doesn't lose too many little sneaky Liberator here at third base. He's gonna go ahead and siege up. Let's see if he can respond quickly. Nope, no response yet.
The queens are here. They're still standing in the circle though. The
Oh,
circle
no.
of death. That is interesting. Yeah, not really paying attention there, and that Liberator definitely pulling its weight. Another queen does make well, come over, 2 queens actually. And another Liberator going into the main base. Let's see what is in the main base. It's just another queen. All right. I mean, true. Let's hope he pays more attention this time around.
Doesn't look like it. He
yeah, there
is.
he
Oh no,
is.
there we go. Finally. He
1
doesn't
HP
want to
queen.
start. Yeah, he doesn't want to start losing all these drones, giving Dream a comeback here, because Dream, he just yet made a 3rd base. So I think he is going to go follow up with a big timing push or something, because I don't see him macroing out of this, as the Zerg is just he has 3 bases, 3 hatcheries, even throwing down the 4th, which should not be thrown down yet because there's actually a lot of Hellions here. So
Yeah.
it should be canceled.
Yeah, I think you're right. Well, it might buy a little bit of time for him if Dream does start attacking it. Hellbats don't do too much damage against buildings, so maybe just a couple of seconds extra here. Let's go for the cancels, and good job there. Gets as much time as he can, and now he needs to get those Zerglings out again. He needs to have another 50 amount of, well, yeah, I guess 50 Zerglings. That's what you just need. Try and keep this from doing a lot of damage here. I think he may have just overdrunk a little bit here, potentially, because those Hellbats once again coming in. It looks like it was not expected at all. The Baneling Nest, neither even really close to finishing up here, and then he still needs to make Banelings as well. We'd love to see a couple of those Hellbats going into the medevac and boost over into those drones marching away right now, but instead just keeping everything together, trying to take on the defenses.
But it's pretty tough because all the queens has gone down, and like you said, I think True just yeah, he just overdrone there. If he had a Roach Warren, maybe even a faster Baneling Nest, he would have definitely, I think, held that off. But only defending with Lings and with all the queens being separated as well, that was just a really awkward for him to defend. And yeah, I think shout out, gotta give props to Dream for turning that around.
Yeah, that was a weird one. That's one of those games where you're like, all right, nice, I held everything. Time to just drone up to the max, get 4 bases. Here we go. We're so far ahead. This is, we can't lose this. It's impossible. How is he gonna be? Oh my god, there's a follow-up. It's like, and then you just, you just die. You just straight up die. There's nothing you can do. So yeah, if he had the Baneling Nest a little bit earlier on, if he added that as soon as he saw the first attack, maybe, you know, that would have been in time. And that would have been nice. Alright, so second game actually. I need to get on top of making the map here. It's Eternal Empire.
Yep, Eternal Empire will be our next map. We'll see if True can pull it back. And you know, that's one of those tougher losses where you know you got the economic advantage, but you just don't have the enough units to defend. You don't have the stronger tech, and you know that if the game went on, that you probably would have won. But unfortunately, yeah, just no units there to defend.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was another short game, honestly. True and Dream, I mean, it was a bit of a cheeky build, to be fair. But, yeah, we're just rushing through these games so far. I mean, we could have 2 of the best of 3s already done within the first hour here if Dream just takes this one again in such a fashion. Quite easily as well, but, I mean, let's see, Snoopy, let's see. In the bottom left side, we have a blue Terran player from Korea. He is from Brave Star Gaming, Dream.
And spawning at the top right, looking to tie up the series, keep his hopes alive. It is from Storm Gaming. It is True. And as you mentioned earlier, these games have been actually pretty short. The series has been pretty short.
I guess game number 2 between Zaun and sort of was pretty long, but that was because that was like the first very aggressive attack from sort of, and then the follow up from Zaun, and then it kind of equalized a little bit.
Yeah. And looks like Dan Kim 415 in the chat agrees with you. Says, "Wow, game takes such short time compared to StarCraft 1." And yep, StarCraft 2, it definitely in terms of game length, the average game length is definitely shorter than StarCraft 1. You start the game with 12 workers. I mean, games pick up the pace of the game picks off really fast from the start. And usually, in StarCraft 1, you get, little groups of engagements, while in StarCraft 2 there's more, big army versus big army, and sometimes the game ends that way.
Yeah, we are seeing a little bit of aggression, by the way, coming out from True, so you know what, this one might be a little bit shorter as well. Although, I mean, it's not... He's still getting a lot of gas, though, so he is going to go for the speed, I would assume. But sometimes you just see Zergs now going for those, well, a couple of 4-lings. Just at the start, before getting their hatchery ready, just so they can defend against any type of a proxy too. They can potentially also, of course, get the command center on the other side of the map, and it's gonna force the Reaper to stay home as soon as he sees this with an SCV scout. But there was no SCV scout, so the Reaper is still gonna go across the map here, and that means that those slings are gonna be able to just go on about their filthy way across the map here. Sorry, I'm making it a little bit obvious that I am a Terran player, don't I?
No, it's all right. But we do see the first 4 lings will get on top of this Marine.
Yeah, that's a good scout here. I mean, it's nice that he left one circling there near the expo, so it's going to be impossible for Dream to really keep on making that. So the production is going to halt here for a moment. And those links, I mean, still, they're not really getting any value here, unfortunately. But oh, the Reaper at least got back home. There's a little bit of value there.
Yeah, I mean, well, the main thing is that he just wanted to delay the CC from finishing, which he did. He not too much, but at least a little bit.
Yeah.
So I would say, pretty even on both sides. And looks like True will start getting his 3rd hatch there, as well as Link Speed about to finish.
Wait, Dream's making a bunker. Okay, he cancels it. I was like, oh, that's Well, there is nothing coming in, but maybe he felt like there was going to be a circling follow-up there, but maybe he was misreading that situation. Anyway, of course, True also gets a very good scout. That's very valuable as well. Like, he saw everything in the base of Dream, so he knows nothing crazy is happening up until that point. Which is changing now because there is a fusion core on the way, but you know what? That's something that happened later on. So.
Yeah, and I do like this choice by Dream to go for battlecruiser. I mean, this map is just really nice for air army. You can hide behind the main as well as natural. There's a lot of airspace for the battlecruisers to kind of roam around.
Yep.
And True doesn't actually have a overlord to spot this, but as I say, there's a few lanes going to the natural. Won't get any SCV kills, so nicely defend there by Dream. But this overlord will finally scout in, and will be able to see the starport with the tech lab. And that is the initial thing that you need to do to defend against it. You got to scout it and start preparing for it.
Yeah, so far he's not preparing for it whatsoever. I mean, he's making another queen, but that's mostly for the Hellions right now. And those Hellions... yeah, you want to keep those alive. So for a moment, he was just going to run them through. But that's just a little bit too many links to really comfortably run past these queens here. Right, so the Overlord does get the full scout. Actually sees the fusion core as well, so we are going to have to see a response coming out of True here. He's making spore crawlers in, well, all of his bases here. Looks like he's still defending against the Hellions pretty nicely as well. Doesn't take any drone damage. Really, I think he killed like 1 drone. Okay, well, I'm not even sure if that is those Hellions, but I think it was
the Hellions. Maybe. Yeah, the Hellions got 1 drone at the 3rd base.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so not too bad, but the main thing is he got start preparing for the battle cruiser. Is about to be does teleport into the main base there. Got to start transferring all his queens over, but at the same time he needs to defend at the natural against these Hellions. So far all the lanes get picked off, and oh no, 3rd base get all those barbecue drones.
Yeah, this is not a good defense at all. That could have gotten could have gotten a whole lot worse, but a whole lot better as well. I mean, the Hellions are still alive, the Battlecruiser is still alive as well. And True's just gotta be scratching his head there a little bit, like, oof, wish I had scouted that a little bit earlier on.
Yeah, and now he is pretty much even with the Terran in terms of workers, and that is not a good place to be in because the Terran has 3 CCs, got all that meal, so definitely True is on the back foot here, and you definitely need to stabilize against these battlecruisers because one of the things about battlecruisers they can snowball.
Yeah, for sure.
If you don't defend against the initial 1-2 battlecruisers and they stay alive, it just really gets tougher and tougher as the game goes on to defend against them.
And it looks like True was kind of waiting to see whether or not Dream is really committing to the battlecruiser, so he only puts down the Spire when he saw the second battlecruiser actually making its appearance here in the natural base. I'm not 100% sure if I like it. It feels like it's maybe a little bit safer on your macro, just in case if your opponent only goes for one battlecruiser and then transitions out of it. Then yeah, but now he's so delayed with his Corruptors,
And he's still trying to kind of crawl his way back in terms of the economy. We can see in the income graph, it's just way ahead for Dream here. As you can see, the blue spike.
Yeah. Yeah, Dream definitely putting on the pressure here, just continuously going in with these battlecruisers and gaining extreme value.
Oh, but we do have a little bit of a counterattack here by True. Unfortunately for him, there is a siege tank there to defend, and I don't see this getting too much damage done. As it looks like True will have to back off.
Lovely placement on this infrastructure as well, using the buildings to keep that siege tank safe. Really good positioning there from Dream, and getting maximum value out of that siege tank. A very important thing to do, of course.
Yeah, actually, all the Terran players you out there, you should actually learn about this little wall off here. It really protects against any run-bys, any bailing busts.
I mean, he didn't even fully wall it off. He just kind of left one gap open still, but it's so good.
As you see, now the 4th battlecruiser is on the way, so as this game goes on, it's going to get tougher and tougher for True to defend against. As he does, at least this time around, we'll have some Corruptors to defend and some Queens. So if you can do some nice transfuses, then possibly you can defend. But this mech army is growing and growing, and the 4th base is being thrown down by both players. Actually, the 4th base of Dream is quicker than the Zerg, which is funny. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, I don't see that all too often, especially with a meching Terran. Like, that's even more rare, but that's what we're seeing right now, and it's just kind of, evident because of all the damage that has been done.
Yeah. Now, the one thing that True has in his favor is the upgrades. If we take a look at the upgrade graph, he has +2/2, while the Terran actually has +0/0. So he has, he's still researching +1/1, but the Zerg player is way ahead in terms of the upgrade. So you can, if he has a timing window where he can probably take advantage of that. But in the meantime, we do have 3 battlecruisers, model canning all those queens, and Corruptors will have to retreat here to defend.
Yeah, likely just sticking around for a little bit longer, trying to get as many of those transfuses off as possible. Doesn't really kill any more of the Corruptors, but I mean, still those queens are a lot weaker now with only this amount of energy. And if you're True, I mean, what would be the right call to kind of remedy the situation here? I don't think there's that much you can do.
Yeah, I mean, once the mech army kind of gets established, it's just really difficult to break. You probably need to kind of tech into the later stages with some like a Brew Lords Infestor play, and try to hope that you don't die before then. But he's probably gonna actually have to trying to trade off these roaches, because these roaches not gonna do much against the mech army.
That's very true. I feel like against the just the ground mech army, you might want to go for the swarm host, but then I mean with those battle cruisers already be so high in number, I'm not sure if you can even afford them while also still simultaneously going for Corruptors. These Hellions are getting an insane amount of value, by the way. 14 workers killed here.
Ooh. That pushes his advantage to 83 to 66 workers.
Yeah, I mean, it was already a difficult situation, but now, I mean, how to make the difficult almost near the impossible here.
Yeah, Chu is going to try to get some economic damage done, but with only Ravagers here and with the battle cruisers teleporting back home, it is going to be tough. Although actually the Corruptor is going to join forces. Where is the rest of Dream's army? Oh, it's actually at the 4th base.
Yeah. The scary thing is, like, he doesn't really even need the rest of his army here to just hold on. It's okay. I mean, yeah, I still have 5 tanks just AFK at my 4th base. It's fine. It's fine. In case you have like a second army this size, then I'll be okay at that side as well. And yeah, Dream is he just gonna start pushing across the map here. I mean, he got a good feel of his opponent's force overall. Might be an indicator for him that he can start pushing here, and it looks like he might actually be starting to do this. I like that truce, trying to keep Dream away for as long as possible, forcing those siege tanks to siege up as much as possible, and trying to take the trades that he still can. But I mean, when you see Battle Mech being the army that chases instead of the army that's getting chased, that's another bad sign here for a Zerg player.
Yeah, this Dream has a bunch of cyclones that he can kite with. There's no Infestus Subangu growth then. And here the tanks join into the fight. We'll push the Roach army back for now, and Chu needs to set up a concave here, because if the tanks get set up here in his I guess like his 4th, 5th base here at the hatchery, it's gonna be really tough. He's already down, or at least equal in bases, so don't want to be down in bases.
There's only 4 Corruptors left, by the way. I mean, there's 3 battle cruisers and there's 4 Corruptors. Alright, 7 more on the way. I guess Drew realizes that he's gonna need more of those, but I mean, the battle cruiser reduction has kind of halted behind this as well. And they're still going in for a counter attack. Well, I say a counter attack, but just more like another point of harassment here on the right side. As Dream is just cleaning up everywhere right now. This is a very scary turn at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, Dream can even lose his whole entire army and still be ahead. The hatchery does go down. The battle cruisers joins up with the main force, and the main ground force, cleans up the rest of the Ravagers, and there's just no army left for our Zerg friend.
Corruptors coming in from the back here, and unfortunately does have to call GG. True losing 2-0. And yeah, I mean, that's a very quick 2 series down the hatch, and we're gonna have well, first of all, we will have, I believe we're gonna go into the winners match now, right?
Yeah, it should be the winners versus winners match.
Yeah, so that would be Dream versus Zan.
Yeah, so we got another different matchup, PVT. So first series got the PVZ, this series got the TVZ, and now we're gonna get a PVT. Wow, what a nice variety of games.
Everything coming by. We will have a CVC as well, I guess, but I guess that's only fair because we do have 2 Zergs here. But yeah, I mean, that is a lovely thing to have happen. And let's see. All right, let's get our 2 players in here in the group. Dream is already in here, of course. Sound also needs to get in the party.
While we get that set up, guys, remember there is a Match Arena page set up for this event.
Yeah.
In the chat area, you can see the Match Arena link as well as the coupon code AXCOM56. Yep, just enter it and donate 50 cents for free. And if you want to contribute additional money to the prize pool, you can do some sponsor quests over at Matrino as well. And you know what? If you want to actually get the entire replay pack of this event, you can actually buy it for $3. Just a little small fee of $3, which is a pretty nice deal. I think if you want to learn from all these players, not just to
it's a real bargain here. Let me see. I think I already did this. It's not. Wait, what? Did I get the wrong code there? Is that what happens here?
Oh no, that's a different. That's a other Matcherino link.
Oh,
There's
this
another
is
one.
the right. No, Alpha Pro Series Ultimate Showdown Full. This should be the right one. I think
Yeah.
I
Oh no,
just got
there's
the wrong
additional
code.
one. No, because the Matcherino codes were all used up there. So
Oh,
there's another page.
right. Okay. What's the other page? What's the other code? All right.
It's at the. Yeah, it's at the. Should be at the chat area, right? You should see it.
Hmm. No, that's the code I'm using right now at the chat area. I put that there. But
Let me go ahead and just link it to you in the Discord then.
All right. Yes, please.
And,
let me see if these players actually already have their stuff sorted as well. Who? Hey, Dream. Hey.
All right, there you have it. The link and the code.
Let me see. Ah, yeah, there we go. Okay, so the number is no wait, actually, huh? Interesting. All right, take a look on stream for me, will you? This is I'll wait until I do this so I can do it on stream like I do sometimes. But it says XCOM. Maybe it's all been filled out. That could be the case. But then usually it says, right, all the coupon codes have been used. All right, this is a mystery. Stuff you can do to help out. There's a hoodie, a tee, a hat you can buy, the replay pack as well, of course, you can do as well. All sorts of good stuff to try and raise the prize pool here. Just a couple of things you can do by following people on Twitter. And easy added money to the prize pool. So if you haven't already done those, we would very much appreciate it. And let me try and get a glimpse on where our two... Looks like Zen, Knight, and If Emron. Sushi's saying I'm using the wrong page.
Yeah, I linked you the other page, so in the Discord, so you should be able to see it.
Ah. It looks remarkably like the tournament we're doing right now.
Yeah, it says it's the Ultimate Showdown 4.2.
All right.
That should be the title. The Alpha Pro Series Ultimate Showdown 4.2.
I was unaware.
Currently has $6.30. So
it's not the 50
guys,
I was
just,
seeing.
Oh.
Well, yeah, people can't really do it if the thing is not correct. That makes sense. Let me just update this real quick. Could I make you party leader so you can make the lobby real quick?
All right. What's the first map?
Hold up.
Zen, right?
Yeah.
Zen. All right. So another new map. So got so much varieties here. So pretty nice.
Wait, it is the right one. Wait, what in the world? Okay, well, I guess I got that earlier on. All right. Anyway. Okay, I don't know what I did wrong. Anyway, I got that from somewhere else then.
Ready.
It's like it was right. Okay, lovely stuff. Okay, so here we go. Now it's split. This is what I do. I sign in, I press contribute. Wait, I am on the right screen right now. Wait. Everything's falling apart now. This one. And then without the 4, there we go. Blammo, it's done. I did it, guys. It's not that difficult. Everyone can do it. Easy peasy. All right. Just make sure you go to the right website. I think I had the old one. I already preloaded it beforehand. And I think it changed later on. I'm not completely sure when it changed, but hey, there we go. All right, anyway. First game between Zaun and Dream. We have, in the top right, the Terran from Bravestar Gaming. He is a Dream.
And spawning at the bottom left, we have our red Protoss from Alpha X. His name rhymes with noun. It is Zaun. All right, we have actually an interesting little play here by Zound. This is a PVT, but if you looked at it, it might confuse you for a second. You think it's a PVZ.
Mhm.
He's actually has his first initial pylon and gateway at the ramp area, which
Yeah.
is interesting.
Yeah, definitely interesting. I mean, guess it doesn't matter too much. Maybe this is just prepping for potential, I don't know, Hellions? Or maybe like units just stimmed bio trying to run through here?
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm not sure. I mean, if the terrain open for Reaper, it doesn't really stop him, I guess,
No.
because he can still jump off, he can still jump in, and the rally of the gateway to to the main base is quite far. So, if there was a proxy Reaper, then it would take a few seconds for the Adept or Stalker to retreat back home. But either way, still very interesting, and we'll see if this there's a reason to this. Oh, actually, I see why. He's gonna try to go for a quick zealot to slow down the push. So because the gateway is much further ahead, it takes less distance for that zealot to travel.
It's gonna arrive quicker at the enemy base. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's gonna rotate around here on the right side as well, just in the nick of time before that Reaper is actually in a place where it can see moving that way. And Dream, I mean, he has not scattered anything whatsoever just yet, and now he's gonna run up this ramp and realize, wait, hold up, I can't pass here, can I? Trying to go past the mineral patches there for a moment. Alright, no, that's not a thing you can do. There is a Marine here that is going to be able to try and keep this Zealot busy. And the Zealot is going to have to choose whether he's going to try to run down the Marine, or if he's going to try to run down the SCV producing the command center here. And it looks like, you know what, not too much delay being had here by Dream so far, but the Stalker as well coming in. The bunker is almost ready, though. That could be a great beneficial thing here. Another SCV does fall, so 2 of them going down so far.
Yeah, it's a really nice micro by Dream. Will be able to finish up the command center. That's the biggest thing. You finish up the command center, and you should be fine after the initial Marines comes out, as well as the Widow Mine that's about to pop out.
Yeah, but, you know what, it's still a little bit dangerous. I mean, a little bit of miss micro, and you could still lose this, of course. This Widow Mine on the high ground can actually be quite big.
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't go off.
God. That was so close.
Quick seeing, well spotted there by Zone, realizing what was happening. And this is still annoying, honestly. Like, you're still denying the mining of the natural base for quite a bit. As your main base is still, you know what, it is fully producing. So, as we can see, yeah, Zone actually a little bumps into the income graph there. And it might not seem like a huge amount, but I mean, in a game that hasn't been going for 4 minutes, having like almost 200 extra income, it's pretty big.
Yeah. Now it looks like the Reaper will be making its way across the map, but there are 4 Stalkers to easily defend against it.
Yeah, I should be able to. Oh my god, almost one-shotting. Oh, I guess. Yeah, okay. Oh, this feels bad for the Terran player out there. So, what
Alright, this is the part of the game where things get a little bit juicy, because there is going to be some medevac drops with the Widow Mine. It's going to be up to the Protoss to defend. If he doesn't defend and pay attention, that could be a lot of pros killed.
I love putting one of them down. It's natural here. Oh, sorry.
Oh, okay, nice response there by Zound. So far, so good.
Yeah, it was a bit unfortunate for Dream. He wanted to put the attention on the main base, but Zound was already aware, and that, you know, something like that was coming his way. Put his stocks in a really good position to hold off this type of drop. And yeah, Dream couldn't really cause the distraction that he wanted, and that other Widow Mine coming into the natural couldn't really gain the value that it wanted to.
The Widow Mine in the middle bush area, the grass area, almost got Zound, but Zound does have Blink, so it's going to be much easier to defend against this. But there is one sneaky Widow Mine on the third base of the Pros that just got cleaned up by the sentries, so
Gonna be
Widow Mine
Blink in the main base, actually. Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Second guesses it. Sees the bio forces there. Doesn't want to give away that his forces are there. I like that he pulled away the hallucination from that area, kind of. Oh my god. Did you see that? He lifted up the Widow Mine as well at the same time. Doesn't want to set it off with the hallucination.
Alright, and this is the part of the game where Zaun just wants to harass and make sure he keeps the Terran army back at home instead of across the map. He is getting actually some decent damage though, and kills the bunker, got 2 SCVs, wasting the medevac energy, although the medevac still has a bunch of energy. But yeah, he's gonna go ahead and retreat for now. Oh, gotta be careful.
Yeah. I mean, this is a lot more easier to do, of course, now that the Terran doesn't have stim just yet. He's gonna have it any second now though, so it's gonna be more difficult to really make this work. Concussive Shell isn't here yet either though, so it's still possible for him to just kind of keep blinking away from harm's way, but it's a scary thing to do, honestly.
Yeah, and you know, there's actually no vision here at the top right, or not the top right, at the bottom right. So this medevac might actually do a good amount of damage while he's trying to distract him at the third base.
Yeah, I think both players here are under the impression that they're just distracting their opponents. So there's a War Prism from Zaun coming into the main base of Dream, but no, actually, being pulled back here. Perhaps a little bit of a wrong... Yeah, this is an interesting maneuver from the War Prism. I guess he just wants to reinforce his main push here.
Oh yeah, possibly. Oh man, if he takes down this command center, that is gonna push the turn back really far.
Yeah.
Especially since that command center is almost done. But oh man, I don't think he has enough army here. There's so much gateway units. There's 8 total gateways for him to work off of.
Yeah, I agree. And you know what? Let's take a look. Just losing that big drop there. And GG has to be called. Dream being taken down by Zaun here. He is on a roll, honestly.
Yeah, I mean his first series looked really good. And this first game, he also looks like he hasn't. His momentum is still going strong. So
yeah,
we'll see if he can keep that momentum up and win this next game and clinch his spot at the playoffs.
Okay. I mean, it's kind of interesting to see as well. I guess that we saw Dream go for the build where he tries to do damage to his opponent, and he didn't do any damage, right? Like none, 0. So already a little bit, that third base was incredibly delayed. He just didn't have as much forces because he lost a lot trying to do the drop play. And yeah, you can see how quickly stuff like that can snowball. And then all of a sudden it looks like that. It looks like, oh well, I guess Protoss just kind of runs over the Terran here.
Yeah, I mean he did a pretty good job in terms of the initial push with the Zella and Stalkers to slow down the Terran. So the Terran didn't have as much, and plus, like you said, on top of that, didn't really get much damage with the Widow Mines. That's the main thing. If you can not suffer any economic damage from those Widow Mine drops, your third base is set to go, especially since he got this third base rather early. And after that, he just had too much. He macroed up really well, was able to put up these 8 gateways and start over massing units to defend and push back into the Terran side of the map. So we'll see if Dream hasn't answered this game around.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we have him here in the top left, the blue Terran from Brave Star Gaming. He is a dream.
And spawning at the bottom right, we have our red Protoss player from Team Alpha X. It is Zaun.
All right. And yeah, I mean, Dream. Can he get the damage that he wants to do, or is he just gonna go for the more, well, something that feels a little bit more regular these days is seeing the Terrans just go for a very quick third base. At least that's what I've been seeing a whole lot from a lot of these Terran players, just kind of you know, not always go for the quick 3 base, because that just becomes, you know, a massive vulnerability. But mixing it in now and again, just to kind of make sure that the Protoss can't just blind counter you in a way. Like Blink Stalkers, it is kind of the counter to the aggressive Widowmine drops and stuff like that, right? Off of the 2 base.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, if you're gonna do the Widowmine drop with Blink Stalkers, you're gonna have to be prepared to commit and lose a medevac with it. But you know what? There are chances where if the Protoss is not paying attention, then you could get a lot of damage done.
Yeah. I mean, the potential is still there, but like out of the openings that Protoss could do, theoretically, the Blink Stocks and like Phoenixes just are, well, the 2 builds that really kind of are the choice if you are fighting off against anything like that, right? With the Widowmines or Medevacs even.
Yeah, and you know, Widowmine drops they tend to come in around like the 4 or 5 minute mark. So that's usually when the Protoss want to start babysitting their vision on the mini map to make sure that, you know, doesn't get caught off guard. I mean, if you don't see a initial Reaper, then maybe you can expect possibly a quicker timing. But with the Reaper here by Jim, it should be in a normal timing. And we'll see. Oh, actually, Zam not going for Blink Stalkers this time around. He's actually going for a Stargate opening.
Yeah, look at that. That's the other side of the coin here of Protoss safety builds.
Oh,
and
that Reaper.
What are we seeing from Dream so far? He's actually going to go for a tech lab quickly onto the factory here. He's making Marines and another barracks behind this as well. So it could be like a siege tank timing coming out of Dream here. Oh, actually, Cyclone. Interesting. It's going to be great against the Stargates.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Although it's not going to be as great against Phoenixes. I mean, if it was Oracle. Luckily for Zan, he's going for Phoenix instead. And also luckily for Zan, his probe did get passed by with the Reaper, but I don't think Dream was paying attention, so that actually that probe is gonna sneakily come in and potentially throw down a proxy, or at least get some scouting information done.
Yeah, it's already seeing that there's no really quick 3rd base at least. And it's going to be able to see when that actually does come down. Which is not yet anytime soon, I would say, with the quick +1, the stim. And actually, there's no 3rd barracks here. Usually you do see a 3rd barracks being accompanied by this build. Or
yeah, I'm not actually sure about what's going on here. I mean, he is researching +1, which tells me that he might go for a stem attack, maybe, possibly. It kind of lines up with his +1.
Yeah.
Oh, there goes down the 3rd barracks.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, it looks like like you said, that maybe a siege tank timing, which is actually pretty good on this map.
It is, yeah, for sure. There's a lot of nice places, good ramps areas, and little clutches of dead ground where you can't really move your units into, of course.
Definitely.
Abuse that with those siege tanks. I wouldn't be surprised if Dream pulls a couple of SCVs with this push as well to try and repair those siege tanks. You gain a whole lot of value here. Zoundo already on the opposite side of the map here with those Phoenixes. And I mean, if he gets a lift up on one of those tanks at any point where, well, even from now until Dream actually manages to siege up on the opposite side of the map, that's going to be absolutely, well, horrible for Dream, because so much is dependent on those siege tanks just shooting away from a distance, providing cover to the bio.
Zan is actually using his Phoenix to try to buy him some time to start taking to that Colossus. Once you get Colossus, then the Colossus can snipe and shoot at the bio units while the Phoenixes lift off the tanks. I think that would be really, really important and very key to defending that attack.
Yep.
There is no 3rd base. There's additional 4th gas being thrown down, so it looks like Dream is pretty decently committed.
Yeah, it's hard to transition out of this, and yeah, like you said, extended thermal lance now being created. Oh, the Cyclone getting picked up from the ground, but quick stim from those Marines coming in. The spread from those Marines actually in the main base, that's absolutely ridiculous. coming in from all
Yeah.
angles to fight off those Phoenixes.
Yeah, but the Phoenix did get the sight of the additional racks. Once you see a Terran going for 5 racks, you know that there is no third base coming soon, anytime soon. So you gotta start preparing. Maybe even go for a disruptors or something. But he's gonna try to get as much Colossus out. And yeah, this is gonna be a very tight timing.
It definitely is, and I mean, Siege tanks, they do all right against the Colossus as well, of course, especially if there's only 1 or 2 on the map right here. Need to be in siege mode though. That's a lot of SCVs being pulled. For a moment I thought he wasn't going to pull any SCVs, but that's actually quite a lot, so this is an incredibly all-in attack here from Dream. Let's see if he can get anything done here. Needs to try and get himself into a good position to try and fight against the Protoss army as quickly as possible. The longer this keeps going, the more in favor for Zan it is, of course, but look at that big concave from all those Marines. Not the greatest of lift-ups there either on top of those siege tanks. I think like at least 2 of them were still shooting. And coming in again, a little bit of a worse angle here for the Terran player. Will it be enough though for Zaun? I don't think it will be. The siege tank still shooting, but the Colossi getting really good connections on those Marines. Melting them, and yeah, he holds.
Yeah, that splash damage by the Colossus at the end, just obliterating all the Marines. You saw all the blood on the floor.
Yeah. GG is cold. So taking another game here, 2-0, and moves on into the finals for well, that will happen on Sunday. Very well done by Zaun.
Yeah, congrats to Zaun. It's a really beautiful defense. You saw the Dream actually focus firing on those Phoenixes when they were lifting the tanks, which is really nice. But his Marines were all clumped up, and those Colossus just, oh man, they're just like, obliterated all of them, demolished them.
I mean, the angle was alright for the siege tanks, but the Marines being in that same location it makes it more difficult for them to spread out and kind of move forwards and stuff like that. And let me see the vetoes. Let me grab that stuff again. Get everything up and rolling for these guys again. Because the next map will be, or well, the next series I should say, True versus Sort of. Let me see, who was, I think Sort of, yeah, Sort of is A and True is B. Okay.
Yep, and while you get the map video sorted out, I'd like to shout out to one of our sponsors, 24 Hour Fitness. They're located in over 436 locations nationwide, and they have dedicated trainers to help you in order to get a kind of the optimal kind of exercise routine to reach the goal that you want. They have exercises that are dedicated to. They have actually a variety of classes. Whether you want exercises that's dedicated to your core strength, maybe even your flexibility with yoga, or maybe your endurance. They have it all. So you want to go ahead and check them out. 24hourfitness.com, and as well as maybe even go to their Twitter and just give them a shout out, because they provide amazing services. So thank you to our sponsor at 24 Hour Fitness.
For a moment I thought you said 2 Hour Fitness. But you said 2 hours sponsor 24 Hour Fitness.
That would be funny.
Yeah, you have 2 hours a day to do your fitness here.
We are open only 2 hours.
No, it's quite the opposite.
Yeah.
It's just always open. Alright, so far we are getting some Fidos here. Zen, Knight, Simulacrum and Eternal all have been vetoed for this ZVZ coming up between our Swedish Zerg and the Korean Zerg. Let's see.
This is going to be the losers versus losers match. So whoever loses this series, unfortunately, will be eliminated from this event. And the winner will actually have a chance to keep their hopes alive to move on to the playoffs.
Yeah, they're gonna have to fight against Dream though, so that is not a an easy task, of course. But it is a best of 3, so you know what? You might be able to just get that one sorted out there. So Triton will be the first map, Ephemeron will be the final one, and then I guess World of Sleepers will be our third one. Alright, so here we go, Triton. And guys, do remember we still have the match arena, of course. We would very much appreciate it if we do get a couple of those codes added in. You can do it for absolute free. On the right website now. If you are on the right website, it's a lot easier to do. You just grab the code. We go back to the website. You fill in the coupon code here, which is AXCOM65. Oh, no, 56. Sorry, that's the Dutch way of pronouncing things. To the prize pool. It's for absolute free. And another thing you can do is, if you want to have the replay pack, you can buy that one over here. If you want to have some merchandise as well.
So looks like we're gonna have our first time today on Triton LE, and this is one of the lovelier maps because snowy and beautiful, very bright.
Yeah, it's a nice place if you like the cold weather.
Yeah, you can pretty much start the game by asking your opponent, "Do you want to build a snowman?"
Pretty much, yeah. But then again, I mean, Zergs, it would be difficult for them to build snowmen, I would assume, but if they would build snowmen, I think they would be pretty massive, and they would look a little bit more like creep rather than made out of snow. I don't know, actually.
Well,
anyway.
they have like that they can use to sculpt up a snowman, I think.
Sorry, you dropped out there a little bit. What did you say? How to sculpt up snowmen?
Oh, I said Zerg. They probably have like little claws that they can use to sculpt up a snowman.
Yeah, maybe.
The Protoss, I'm not sure how. They only have a blade or something, right? How you
Yeah.
gonna make a snowman with the blades?
Just use your telepathy or something like that. I don't even know. Anyway, we have a blue Zerg here from Storm Gaming. He is from Korea. He is a true.
And spawning at the top left corner of the map. He's a red Zerg player, currently teamless. He is not kind of. Instead, he is sort of.
Truly, sort of, a great game that is going to be taking place here.
Yeah, and we were talking about how quick the previous series has been. Well, this is a series that could definitely end really quick. I mean, ZVZ is very, very volatile. It could end up really going to the later stages of the game, or it can end up in the early stage of the game where just like a Zerg catches off the opponent off guard with a bunch of banelings or something like that.
That's completely right, but you know what? I don't think I'm gonna make a wild prediction, but I don't think we're gonna see very quick games here. Because, well, first of all, of course, we see True going for a very quick 3 base, but also because we're having sort of in this CVC, and sort of again, like, he loves to play defensive. He likes to go road or the lurkers, especially in CVC. He likes to go to that late game attack, and you know what? I've seen sort of. I'm not completely sure in what CVZ it was anymore, but I've seen him absolutely demolish Zergs that were on a Zerg that was on 7 bases, and he was just on like 3 or 4 bases, just barely. Just having a lot of infestors, a lot of lurkers, just continuously trading. Incredibly effective. Now, to be fair, his opponent was only making Zergling, Baneling, Mutalisk, but it worked. It still worked. And he actually did manage to win that game with just like a couple of bases versus 7 or 8, and I lost my mind in that game, honestly, casting that one. I'll never forget it. But except I've already forgot who he was playing against. Probably wouldn't want to call him out either anyway. We are getting both players going for the Baneling Nest here at the front. So it looks like both of them are going to be going for a little bit of a defensive play here.
Yeah, it's important to note that True actually had two drones on the geyser, so his speed was a little bit late, but it allowed him to mine more minerals. So he had actually a quicker third base. While sort of he actually went for three drones on gas, so he got the faster speed but later third hatchery. So I think build order wise, it kind of favors True because sort of has yet decided to go for a quick attack to punish True for going a bit more greedier.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to either anymore at this point anyway. Unless if Drew's just going to keep up this greed to the max. Which he might, but I mean, it would be a little bit unwise, unorthodox. Getting a overlord here.
Oh, nice block off by the queen on the links, denying the scouting information. And looks like, but he did at least see a roach warren at the front, so he knows that he's going against roaches. You shouldn't expect like some ling mutalisk or something.
Yeah, this is very true. I can rest assured a little bit more easily, knowing that our third base is a lot more safe. Up until he has his own roaches out here as well. Both going for a quick, well, relatively quick layer here as well. I guess, you know what, you can, because they do both have that 3 base economy.
Yeah, both players look like they're gonna go for a kind of a roach versus roach battle here. And of course, it's gonna be really interesting. Roach versus roach battle is one of those kind of army battles where it depends on your army positioning, as well as dodging corrosive biles and those sort of things. And sometimes you see, oh, actually, I was about to say mention about burrow play, but looks like we have a Nidus play on the other hand with True. So he's gonna go for a Nidus worm. There is an overlord at the main base heading to the left side, so it should allow him to get some vision. But look at the overlord spread by sort of. He's got a lot of vision to deny this nice play.
Yeah, and True lost 2 overlords already to just queens in pretty insignificant places, I suppose. Getting too close to the creep here. Wait, okay, there we go. There's True's Nidus worm. Is that in vision of that overlord? It is actually. Oh my.
Oh, he is throwing down the spine crawlers. He could have actually taken out that Nidus if he got on top of it immediately, but he's staying back. Either he did not notice it or he did not see it in time or something. But either way, these roaches are already diving in here at the ramp. Oh, but nice little concave by sort of. He's got to buy some time for the spine crawlers to get back up. And those corrosive biles will hopefully buy him enough time.
Army supply being really tight here, and it looks like sort of is just getting in more volleys with those roaches rather than True. True trying to target down those Ravagers, but the Ravagers nicely microed backwards here, so they did not get targeted down.
Yeah, and I don't like this. I really don't like this Nidus play by True. I mean, he knows he's going roaches versus roaches, and unless he has some upgrade advantage or something, I didn't see him breaking this. And you know, I think sort of he actually delayed his roach speed a little just to get enough roaches and ravages out. But when you share on, like, you see the creep spread of sort of. I mean, once you're on creep, roach speed doesn't matter as much, especially since your opponent is coming to your side of the map.
Yeah, true. I kind of scuffled there for a little bit. As you said, you didn't like the Nidus play from True, then sort of also put down a Nidus worm here. I guess it does help to try and reinforce your army as soon as you do go for an offensive, but actually you're sort of going for the Nidus worm in the main base, and there's nothing there to scout for it actually. Not a single overlord having been put down in the main base here for True, and that's going to be, that could be completely lethal here. A lot of roaches now rotating in, coming into that worker line. And even if they don't get too many drones here, the drones should get pulled, right? They should get pulled. Those roaches not targeting down drones though. Okay, well, I guess, I mean, he's just focused on the main battle here at the front. It's still forcing roaches to go towards the net or the main base here from True.
Yeah, the roaches in the main base just as a distraction. The main attack here at the natural, between the natural and dirt of his True, and it looks like sort of is just overpowering the sheer number of roaches. Currently, we have 32 roaches for it, sort of, and True only have half of that. And this is pretty much a walkover as, yeah, this is just basically snowballing in favor of the red Zerg.
Very, very nicely done there by sort of holding off the attack from True, and then immediately afterwards going in for the counter attack. Not too shabby.
Yeah.
Not too shabby at all. That's going to put sort of up one game here against True. And let me see, what was the next map that we were going to play on? Ephemeral. Right, okay. 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 Sometimes when I see Knights, I still believe that, or I think that they are referring to World of Sleepers.
Well, it is a pretty dark map, so
Yeah,
or kind of dark.
It's just when they say night, it just I immediately think about sleeping or something like that. I don't even know.
Yeah, yeah, I get it. Well, luckily for you, I think one of the maps are because the new season is coming up, so there's gonna be some new ladder maps.
Oh boy.
I think one of those maps has been rotated out, so that should at least help with that.
Yeah. For a moment, I thought you were gonna say they're adding another map called Night Sleepers or something like that, and it's gonna be even worse. You'd have World of Sleepers, Nightshade, and Night Sleepers. Oh my goodness. Alright, yeah, that's not gonna help me out. Anyway, in the bottom left, sorry, in the bottom right, I should say, there is a red Zerg player from Sweden up 1-0 right now. Can he make it happen and take one more win and go up against a Dream afterwards? He is sort of the teamless Swede.
Oh, and here at the top left, he is about to defend or try to defend a 12th pool by his opponents. Can he do it? It is True. And I love this. Sort of already up 1-0. He is just going to go all in and yellow it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, now that he has the advantage, might as well give it a go. And I mean, maybe he noticed that True, of course, went for that very, very quick 3-base economy there. I mean, True probably not expecting sort of to be that aggressive as he was well, as he's being right now. They probably do play each other on the ladder now and again, as sort of is in Korea. Well, pretty much. I think he's more in Korea than he's in Sweden overall.
I think he's going to actually pull the drones here. It's looking like it. Yep, he is pulling the drones, boys.
Oh, Nelly. All right. He still has the money for, I believe, 3 spine crawlers, right? Is that 3 spine crawler money?
Yeah. Oh, well, no, actually. Oh, he actually did not
money?
mine enough for 3. Yeah, he kind of mistimed that. He's only 10 away from, or actually, he just, yeah, he's going to throw down 2 only because he only has enough for 2.
I mean, it's still very, very lethal here. Coming through the choo-choo train of drones and Zerglings mixed in between here. The Zerglings being the passengers here, I guess, or the locomotive maybe, perhaps. It's kind of interesting anyway. Alright, coming in, and here we go. We have the first spine crawler going down. Actually, doesn't even have the money for a second spine crawler here. Just a single spine crawler. And the drone's trying to drill micro into the other drones here. And so far, it's going pretty nicely for sort of. He's getting some kills here. Not a single drone yet has gone down for sort of. But now, the links have appeared out for True as well. Oh, a lot of great surrounds though from sort of. Can he do with the army supply going into favor of True though? And it looks like True has held.
Oh, but the spine crawler has finished for sort of, and that is going to allow him to spike away at these links and this hatchery at the very least. There's actually no. Yeah, so True didn't actually send a drone to the natural to make a spine crawler, so he doesn't have anything to defend it.
He didn't have the money.
Yeah.
If he had 2 spine crawlers, he could like move them one by one up forwards now, and now he has to burrow one of them to try and get a well, range on top of that hatchery. That means that spine crawler's half HP before it actually starts doing anything, and that's it. That's it.
That is pretty much it, and I think sort of just barely screwed up at the beginning. He only mined 290 minerals instead of 300. If he had 300 minerals, I think he would have enough for 3 spine crawlers, and he would have been able to possibly take this game. But instead, he just got 10 minerals short. Had to
Yep.
spend the extra minerals. Went down to one only, able to throw down and plot down 1 spine crawler, and that was pretty much GG. You know what? Even though sort of did not accomplish what he set out to do, I still like his decision to do so. I mean,
Yeah.
he was ahead 1 game already, so why not, right?
Yeah. I mean, I have to say his execution wasn't as crisp as I would expect from him. But yeah, well, I mean, it's a valiant effort. Maybe he will do it again here. Who knows?
Man, if he does it on this map,
it's gonna be a while before he gets on the other side on World of Sleepers, of course, but it's gonna be the last thing True is going to expect here.
yeah, I mean, their tournament life is on the line right here, so
True.
that would be pretty ballsy to go for that build.
Yeah, yeah. But, I mean, it's oh my god, sort of his Terran. We're gonna have to rehost this one. Whoops. I was not paying attention to that. To be fair, they did tell me to go, go, go.
No problemo. We just gonna quickly restart this lobby here.
Alright, there it is. Okay, we are good now. We still have game hearts enabled. That's lovely stuff. Alright, guys. Game number 3 between True and Sort of is happening right now. Who's going to be the player trying to make a dream, well, go down here in the final decider match? It's going to come down to, well, this one right now. This, I mean, there's a decider match already behind this, but this already kind of feels like a deciding match because whoever loses here is going to be out first place. Well, I mean, first place out, that's the opposite, right? Last place out? Is that how you call that? I don't think you call it like that, do you? No, sir. Anyway, in the top right side, we have our Blue Zerg. He is from Psystorm Gaming's, the one, the only. He is a True.
And spawning at the bottom left corner of the map, he is a red Zerg player. Not going for the same 12 pool as last game, but going for the 13 pool. He is sort of
Mixing things up here.
Yeah, he's sort of going for the same build.
Yeah, yeah.
Sort of.
Close enough, sort of, yes.
He's living up to his name.
And True, once again, going for the macro build here. First, putting down a hatchery. So far, no spawning pool yet on the 17 supply. That goes for the gas first, too. I mean, I just hope that sort of is going to mine enough money here to really bring it home
he's got
the bacon.
yeah, he's got 300 minerals. So this time around, he should be good.
Wait, yeah, okay, yeah, there we go. See, okay, yeah, he definitely has enough now. He even has the 50 extra minerals to get another batch of links on the way over here. And in comes the train. I need to dodge the Overlord in the middle, though, of course, to try and avoid as much... oh my god, preparation time here for True, but True spots it immediately. Those drones and links not being the sneakiest of people here. And I think that means that True's going to be able to pretty much quite quickly pull some drones here and try to keep track. There, he's scouting to see whether or not there's a spine crawler on the edge of his creep. Of course, you cannot see the edge of your creep. And now he's immediately going to be able to put down his own spine crawlers if True wants to. But no, instead goes for... okay, yeah, there it is, actually. Behind the mineral line. Needs to try and micro his little drone hard out. So far, not too many losses have been taken just yet. And again, we're only seeing sort of going for the single spine crawler here. That's very ballsy. Hey, he's just making more links behind this. Apparently, he's trying to send them over. But they're going to be very late here. The spine crawler is still not completed yet either. And I just think that sort of just not having the execution that he needs to really make this work. You put the spine crawler closer, but I feel like he's just going for the fight a little bit too quickly, right?
Yeah, he needed to buy time for the spine crawler. First of all, he only threw down 1 spine crawler, but he had enough for 2 spine crawlers.
Yep.
He needs to just buy time for the spine callers to get. But he just took the fight in the mineral patch area, just constantly, and unfortunately, with some mineral trick micro, it was just unsuccessful
Yeah.
for sort of.
And true, just having the higher amount of units because of all of that, of course. Well, first of all, because I mean, sort of had to move across the map. So as long as the micro is on point,
Yeah, I
it's
mean, I
gonna be
like that
great.
he had enough. He mined enough minerals this time around. He even threw down the spine crawler a little bit closer to the hatchery because remember last game
Yep.
he threw down his spine crawler but didn't reach the hatchery. So he had to kind of lift back up the spine crawler and reroute. This time around he had the spine crawler at the better positioning, but
Yeah.
didn't throw down. Yeah, didn't throw down the second spine. Didn't delay the fight. He just let his all his drones and lings die before the spine collar even got up. So yeah, the execution was right there, but just not perfect at the end.
Absolutely. All right. Now, while these guys are doing the final vetoing process here, we're going to be doing a final shout out as well to our sponsor, which is GameStop. GameStop is just like in traditional sports, your performance in esports is greatly affected by the quality of the equipment that you use to compete. Your controller, mice, keyboards, headset, or whatever other fancy gadgetry you use can decide whether you fulfill your dreams or instead let them become memes. And if you are looking to upgrade your equipment to bring more power to your game, then check out GameStop. They are very helpful at that, and the top destination for all your esports equipment needs. So yeah, GameStop.com, the place. And it's right there in the accessories tab where you can find, like we said, the controllers, mice, keyboards, headsets, anything you need to get that competitive edge on any platform that you would game upon. All right, also, Matcherino. Guys, we still have the Matcherino, of course. We'd greatly appreciate it if you could take that code from the little chat box right above the chat. That's interesting.
Nuclear missile ready.
Okay, well, I mean, okay, that's the right one. Here it is. So yeah, if you could take that code from the little chat box right above the chat, take that code, go to the website that is pasted there as well, and then just log on in. You can do that over here with any type of profile you want, anything really. You press contribute, you fill in the code, which is AXCOM, and then a 56, you say contribute, and voila. Really, and it puts more money into the StarCraft 2 esports scene, and isn't that what we all want, right? Give these players the money that they deserve and have a good time that way. All right. All right, that out of the way. We also have a replay pack, by the way, there. So if you want to have the replays of these series, it's not just... Actually, is it just this one? Let me check that. No, it's every game that's going to be played. So also for Group B and also the finals, all are going to be included in the replay pack. If you do buy that one, and you will have a lovely bunch of games to try and figure out what is happening. Ephemeron, Snoopy, it will be our first map here.
Sweet.
Any thoughts on Ephemeron?
Well, it's certainly not nighttime in the ephemeron.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the one thing I do like about it. But we did see. Well, it's one of the maps. Wait, what matchup are we having? Terran. Okay, Terran versus
Zerg. Yeah.
Okay.
TVC.
All right. Yeah. So I actually see a lot of Terran going for mech play on this map. So I'm wondering if Dream can do so. I mean, I guess the first three bases are fairly easy to get. Once you get to the fourth and maybe fifth base, it gets a bit harder. They're a bit kind of further away, but the first three bases I think you can establish, especially since you can park your tank on the high ground and help protect the kind of the area between the natural and the dirt. So I like to see Dream go for mech. On the other hand, True, I mean, I could definitely see a lot of like a Ling Bane Ling Mutalisk kind of composition. This map is pretty huge, so you can actually run by here and there, use the advantage of the mobility. But yeah, we'll see if both players, what kind of build and what kind of army composition these both players go for.
Yeah, yeah. And honestly, I have to admit, I'm not completely sure what Dream prefers either. Like personal preference also comes into play here. Um, But anyway, I'll do an introduction. In the bottom right side, we have from Brave Star Gaming, the Korean Terran player. He is Dream.
And spawning at the top left, we have our lovely Zerg player from Psy Storm Gaming. He is True.
True. Once again, going for the macro builds here. A little bit surprised, honestly. I thought that after sort of winning that first game, I was like, alright, here we go, sort of versus Dream. But instead, we get the rematch. True versus Dream this time around once more.
Yeah, and I think even though it was a 2-0, I don't think it was kind of reflective in the score. I mean, True did have a kind of a fairly good position in the first game where he had a bunch of drones, had actually 20 more drones, but because he overdroned, lost to a Hellbat timing.
Yeah, true.
Actually, a Hellbat follow-up timing because his first Hellbat did not actually work out really well.
Yeah.
And yeah, True was able to defend against that without losing a single drone. And if he just made some more units to help defend against that follow-up Hellbat timing, he definitely, I think, would have won. But yeah, let's see if he kind of learned from his mistake and do better this time around.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very interested in seeing what Dream is gonna bring to the table as well right now. Is he gonna do that, something like that again? I mean, this map, it's still a little bit, it's possible to go for the battle cruisers again as well, which is what we saw in the second game, of course. The second game did feel a little bit one-sided, I have to say, but no, maybe that was as well because True just didn't scout the battle cruisers. And it took him so long to get Corruptors. I feel like it's incredibly important to get those Corruptors as quickly as possible to kind of nip those battle cruisers in the butt before they go crazy and they get out of hand. That never really happened there.
Yeah, let's see if Dream does decide to go for Battlecruiser once again. He does have the starport, which I think, yeah, it looks like, yeah, it does look like he could potentially go for it. I mean, it could be for Banshees, Cold Banshees, but it could definitely also be for Battlecruisers. So we'll see if once he gets his tech lab on the starport, whether he plots down that, or once he makes the starport, once he gets that tech up, or that structure up, what will he throw down the fusion core?
Yeah.
In the meantime, looks like True is joining up, and he definitely want to at least start connecting the creep tumor between his natural and his third base. That will allow the Queens to move back and forth in case he needs to defend against these Hellions or any potential airplay.
And it is, like you said, the fusion core coming up here. I guess as you were kind of semi-predicting, you realized that was a good chance that it would be that same build again.
Yeah, I think with the lack of tech lab on that barracks, that kind of signaled the fusion core because you know, Banshee played, you will usually switch out the starport with that tech lab on the barracks.
Yep.
But in the meantime, we have some nice micro actually with these Hellions. Not a single Hellion going down, getting a lot of value, killing all these Zerglings.
Yeah, that was absolutely ridiculous. Actually, I thought, is Dream just gonna lose here for a moment? Is he just gonna die, take too much damage from all these lings here with only 2 Hellions right now available? But yeah, like you said, it's amazing micro, keeping most of everything alive. And if we look at the units lost tab right now, it's at 16 lings, and those would have come in quite handy to try and hold off against the Hellions that are gonna be aggressive right now.
Yeah, this derp is really susceptible, but there's actually no wall up at the natural, so if he wants to, he can actually to the natural, but he's gonna get as much drone here at the third base. 3 so far, so not the greatest, but can you get some bit more?
Maybe he got a little bit overconfident after getting all those link kills there in his main base, and he thought that he could just jump on the drones here. But just barely enough links coming out there in time to block off the Hellions from running past this little choke here between the mineral patches. But perhaps the battlecruiser is going to have more luck here trying to do damage. Only killing off 2 drones so far. Shouldn't get these queens. They do have more than enough energy to keep each other alive and wards off against the battlecruiser here. Yeah, I think True's doing a really good job so far.
Yeah. Oh, but does not want to lose or kind of give away these drones.
Oh, yeah.
Got a micro away from that mineral patch at the further end. Man, this map is just, oh my god, look at these Hellions in the natural. Oh, he almost committed.
Didn't just quite do so. Actually, going into the third base again here, and you know what, that's a good shot. 10 work is going to go down. I like these evo blocks coming from through here as well, ensuring that those Hellions do not get easy access to a second shot on those drones that are running away. But still 10 work is going down actually there, just as it was commanding True for keeping a lot of them alive. Does lose quite a bit there actually, and a second battlecruiser now making its way through the teleporting ether, I don't know how they call it, but anyway, into the natural base and killing off more drones.
He's pulling through just left and right, and look at the queens had to move all their butts to the left side.
Quickly!
Now the good thing is that he actually connected the creep to between the natural and the third, so the creep can, the queens can travel back and forth a bit more quicker. But let's see how both players are doing. I mean, 66 workers for the Zerg player, 57 for Dream. So I guess it's kind of even, but there's more Hellions actually making its way across the map. Let's see if he can get some additional drone kills. There's actually 3 queens at the third base to defend. So let's see if Dream decides to commit to it.
Yeah, the 3 overlords actually gonna go down pretty quickly here in succession, which means that there's not gonna be as many roaches right now that are gonna be created to help defend against those Hellions, but there's more than enough queens luckily.
Oh, but the Hellions are across the map, but these Lings trying to get a counterattack at the third. But the Hellions shouldn't quickly make its way back and shouldn't lose too much.
Hit it? What? He only looks like 1 SCV and a mule there or something. That's not a lot of damage.
Yeah,
that's not a lot of damage at all.
Especially for that many Lings.
Yeah. We are seeing again the Spire coming out here from True, and again I feel like it is quite late. I mean, we're already having the Cyclone upgrade almost ready here. Cyclone's coming out as well, and that's going to be the force that you want to have against those Corruptors. But yeah, I don't know True if he has practiced enough against battlecruisers here, or perhaps it just kind of fell out of fashion against a little bit there, and he...
Well, we do see that some Zergs they rely on mass queens to defend against the few initial battlecruisers, but then once they see that the Terrans committing to more battlecruisers, they probably, it's best that they start getting the Spire in case the battlecruiser numbers gets too overwhelming. But nice little, what's it called, Yamato cannons on a few of those queens, and does actually retreat with both of his battlecruisers. So
yeah.
Dream is just he's just macroing up and stopping himself, getting some quick harass here and there, and these Hellions, gotta be careful.
Just barely getting, well, closing the gap there with those roaches, not allowing the Hellions easy access. And just the speed at which Dream is making new bases out right now as well, it's very scary. Honestly, I'm just very worried for True right now. I mean, the worker count is very close. The army supply is pretty darn close as well, considering that most of the army supply right now for True is in roaches, especially. That is just not where you want to be as a Zerg player. And again, at around the same amount of bases here. Actually, he's kind of behind on bases a little bit, because he wants to be a base ahead first of all, but then also, I mean, he doesn't, he's not getting his 5th and 4th base as quickly as Dream was getting them.
Yeah. And you know, throughout this whole game, Dream has been actually doing a really nice job killing these creep tumors.
Yep.
And that kind of delays or favors him because you know True is not able to get on top of these Hellions and Cyclones with his roaches as much, which is really nice. Well, here we have a 3 battle cruiser. Harass at the natural will be able to teleport back away, and yeah, just kind of rinse and repeat there.
Yeah, the Yamato value definitely gonna stack up ultimately here. Oh, Hellion run by once again, this time getting kind of through here. Roaches are still close in the main base as well. Another Hellion coming in. Yeah, there's still 2 of them there actually. You know what? That's a good amount of damage again.
Yeah, I mean, Hellions are just mineral units, so you can just trade them for all these drones. And he has plenty of CCs to mine some additional minerals to make some additional Hellions. And oh my god, 16 drone kills here at the 4th base. But there is a huge counterattack by the Zerg. A lot of SCVs going down at the natural, but these roaches get on top of the tanks. And
the
all
tanks
these...
out of
yeah.
position, yeah. This is this is kind of interesting. I don't know if those Corruptors, they are going to clean up the battle cruisers actually. They don't have teleports. And that's a really good job there by True.
Yeah, I mean, he suffered a lot of drone losses, but at least he kind of evens it out. I mean, the Terran is still ahead, though, which is unfortunate. But at the very least, he did do some economic damage, and he did clean up the battle cruisers. So this time around, he's actually switching to Mulus. 16, 17 Mulus on the production tab. There's actually 4 doors, unfortunately, for True, or 5 doors, rather. Ugh.
Definitely should help out. And how many Cyclones does he have? Yeah, 6 Cyclones right now. He's still producing more Cyclones here as well. So yeah, I think he should be okay. It's just the mobility of the Mutalisk might be the problem here, right? They might be able to just kind of rotate around the slow forces, the slow mech forces of Dream. Even though they are Cyclones, they're not as nimble as those Mutalisks, especially if they are anticipating support from those Thors. It's gonna be a really long time, and more economic damage here being taken by Dream. True, definitely doing a whole lot better than he was previously. Is he actually going to get this planetary fortress as well? Corrosive Miles is barely not enough.
Wow, he committed all his corruptors to it. So unfortunate for True, does loses the bulk of it. But he still has the Mulus, and these bases doesn't have any turrets.
Yeah. Guys, you know what? I kind of like it. The fact that he did keep those corruptors there. It allowed his Mutalisk to still get more damage done, right? At these sort of bases.
Yeah, got 25 in, actually, so he has pulled back ahead with the worker count. The question is, there are still a lot of doors and a lot of Cyclones. What does he have for it?
He's transitioning back into a ground force here. A lot of Roaches and a lot of Ravagers now being created. And I'm really liking this style from True. He's just going back and forth between these 2 types of army compositions. But I mean, Dream is kind of anticipating it as well, it seems. He's going back into siege tank production here. Still, I mean, with this amount of Cyclones, this is a very scary army still, even with the Roach Ravager composition.
Yeah, I mean, he does have a good upgrades on his units, so it's a bit more beefier. But he definitely needs to start, you know, try to spread, get kind of a flank or a concave on this army. Now, there's only 2 tanks, so not too dangerous, but there's still, again, those Cyclones as well as those doors in the back, which is the real threat and the real bulk of this army.
Alright, yeah, the flank being set up, like you said, he is committing right now. Mutalisk a little bit clumped up, so a lot of AoE damage from those Thors. Immediately melting the flock of Mutalisk here. But there's still a lot of Ravagers and Roaches now. Gonna be able to get on top of the siege tanks. Siege tanks behind this weren't sieged up yet, so taking a long time before they get that value. These Thors really desperately True wants to get them killed off. It looks like True still not really trading out beneficially here.
Yeah, all the Lings are gone. Only Roaches and Ravagers with these Cyclones can just kite for days. And all of a sudden, the supply, the overall supply, had just swung hugely in favor of Dream.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be the end. True has to tap out that Dream with a very strong push there. Even when he did get Thor, overall harassment there, all the AoE damage being able to just pick apart his opponents. And yeah, well done there by Dream. Let's see, what was the next map again? Eternal Empire. Again, I mean, it's a pretty good map for the... I guess it's a little bit... There's a little bit less dead space around the south part, right? So your natural and your... well, your natural is still kind of open to air attack, but your third base and the main base, it's a little bit more tricky. There's not as much space there.
Yeah. Now I think the problem for True though is he starts off these games well, but then it's like one little mistake, and it's just like you just kind of throw the game away because he did hold off really well in the beginning, but against the Hellion and then the battle cruiser, but then a little mispositioning and the Hellions went into the third, got a bunch of drones, and at that point, yeah, I think Dream was just like free flowing. He was able to just macro up a huge mech army, and True was kind of reeling and dealing throughout the whole game.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. It's gonna come down to whether True can actually kind of find an answer to that style in a way as well, right?
Yeah, he hasn't been dealing with the battle cruiser player really well. Remember, this game is actually the same map, I believe, right? The same map where Dream went for the battle cruiser play, and it was just like kind of one-sided game.
A little bit, yeah, but I mean, True he did make some good maneuvers, right? Here and there, we saw some great stuff. The Mutalisk got a lot of damage done, but then ultimately True just didn't have enough stuff anymore to really combat the army. And I mean, yeah, I don't know exactly what else he could do, of course, but it definitely feels like there is stuff that should be improved there for True. But let's see if he can pull everything together right now and make it come together like a little neat, tiny puzzle for the Zerg. In the bottom left side, we have the red Zerg player. He is from Psystorm Gaming. He is True.
And spawning at the top right, he is the blue Protoss player. He is one game away from advancing. It is Dream. So this is going to be the same build that True went for in the last time around, the first series that they played, where he actually went for an earlier pool and will make possibly 4 lings to deny or slow down the command center of the Terran.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, yeah, this is very reminiscent of that other game that we saw. There is another Reaper on the way as well from Dream. Again, no SCV scout from him. So the Reaper is going to go across the map here.
Oh, Kozen, look, guess what?
Oh my dear lord. Actually, yeah, it's 6 links as well right now. And it is a Roach Warren. Oh my dear lord. Alright, ramping up the aggression here. True doesn't want to let it go to one of those games where the Terran just gets to have battle cruisers everywhere and the Hellions trying to get in between all those mineral patches.
Oh man, he's gonna actually possibly pull the Reaper back home with these 6 lings, and will not scout the Roach Warren. And it's gonna be really, really, really scary for Dream, because if you don't prepare for that Roach push, then yeah, it's gonna get it's just gonna snowball really quickly.
Yep.
And yeah, looks like the Reaper will head back home without any scout in the main base.
Even gets the SCV producing the command center here. I love that. True is just kind of pretending like he is focused on trying to take out the command center as well. Instead, I think it would be more beneficial for him to try and get the as many SCVs as possible. And this is costing a lot of mining time as well already. The Reaper coming back. Actually, the Reaper might not have been as necessary with that amount of SCVs being pulled. But, you know what? Definitely would have been more beneficial to have scouted those roaches a bit sooner. He's still building a bunker, though. That's a big thing here. But, yeah, I don't know, Snoopy. I don't know. This is not looking good for Dream so far.
Yeah, he might have to... It would be probably best to retreat back home, but his bunker's in the low ground. He doesn't have any siege tank on the way. doesn't even have a tech lab on the factory. The good thing for him though is that Dream or True doesn't have enough for 3 or additional Ravagers, so he's gonna have to focus fire on the SCVs with his roaches, and that bunker is gonna. Oh, actually, he's gonna just bypass it. He's gonna go straight into the main base.
Getting the Widow Mine there, so not taking any damage from that, and you know what, lovely stuff so far from True. He's dealing a lot of damage on the production tab. I'm seeing more drones being made after this. And has this been enough damage?
I don't think it's quite enough. I mean, Dream's still ahead in worker count. He does have the base advantage. There's no dirt hatchery for True, and oh, one last Widow Mine hit to clean up the rest of these roaches.
Nasty end to a nasty push.
Oh, and they even love this. Look at that. Dream throwing down the third set command center immediately, knowing that he held that successfully.
Yeah, both players looking like they do want to transition into the macro game. Let's actually take a look at the overall unit lost tabs. 10 workers did go down there, so that, you know what, it's a pretty significant amount, right? I mean, it was an incredible big investment from our Zerg player, but I mean, I don't think it's unplayable from this position, is what I'm trying to say, right? I mean, think he can still make something work.
Yeah, I think he's not too far behind, because, you know, 10 worker at the early stages of the game is still significant. I still would give a little bit of advantage to Dream, but I mean, it's definitely not over for True. He can definitely crawl his way back into this game. Yeah,
but so far, I mean, every time he did kind of get behind a little bit, it's not worked out in his favor yet. I mean, just today, we've had, I think it is 3 games in favor for Dream versus 0 for True, so it's an incredibly tough hill to climb here. Which kind of would mean if True wins 2 times in a row now, he will advance against an opponent that he lost 3 times against and only won twice against. That's kind of interesting.
All right, looks like we got a little bit of a Widow Mine sneak by with 4 drone kills. Nice. These Lings are trying to get a little bit of run by, but this is nicely defended by Dream.
Yep.
Now looks like Dream, he's gonna get his +1/1. He just researched stem. He's gonna get his combat shield. Wouldn't be surprised if once this factory switches over with the start port, he's gonna get 2 medevacs, and once his medevacs are out and about, he should start harassing, as that should line up with the combat shield as well as the +1 upgrades.
Zerglings are coming in here. Would be nice if those Zerglings hit at the time when the medevacs do start to run across the map here with those bioforces, but they might be a little bit earlier on. Although True has the vision, so he should be aware that he can wait a little bit longer until he sees those bioforces moving out on the map here, and then go in for the engagement here. Alright, so the medevacs they go into the range of that sensor tower. And there we go, that's the key for True to start moving in here into that 3rd base. And only 5 Marines right now available, attacking the supply depot, although for a moment they're buying valuable time for Dream to get more Marines over here and in a good position behind that mineral field, or the Vespian Geyser. True now has to find some sort of a solution against these forces that are rolling into his base. Banelings don't have Baneling speed yet, so easy target fire here from our Terran player. Zerglings coming in from behind, but a little bit desynchronized there. Not gonna get the full surround with all the forces, unfortunately. More Lings coming in though. Can we get some sort of a connection? It might just be barely enough to, with just the Lings there. True holds on.
Yeah, luckily for him, he was morphing his Banelings before the Marine timing hit, so he's able to survive. But oh, looks like this 4th base might actually go down. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, no cancel. And those are valuable minerals right now for True. It's not something that can he afford to lose at this moment. He does have Burrow, so he is burrowing Banelings right now on the map, which is one of those ways where you can get some sort of a major comeback to happen. But it requires a little bit of luck here in True's part.
Yeah, now the good thing is that this map actually has some really predictable pathways that True can burrow his Banelings in. So he could potentially get a bit more luckier compared to other maps, but we do have a little bit of a drop here coming into the natural. Nicely positioned though, he got a few links and Banelings, so he is well prepared and shouldn't receive any much damage.
Can force this drop out of here. No sir, you are not welcome. And the Bioforce is now actually getting towards those Baneling landmines on the ramp. Let's take a look whether or not these are going to be effective here. They look so weird on the ramp, by the way. Oh my god, True spot it. He doesn't spot it. They run past, and they're going to get another cancel here on the 4th base. Potentially, most likely, yes, actually. There's no cancel again. But the Baneling landmines, can he get the button? He's just staying there. It's like he knows. Didn't micro backwards, instead microing in with another group of Marines here in between the natural and the 3rd base. But Banelings actually do get a connection there. As there are Zerglings. Oh my god, 12 SCVs gonna go down here. As Zerglings did manage to run into the natural base.
Oh yeah, you got the supply depot down at the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta lift that up.
gotta get that one up.
Lift it up.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, Dream's still in a fantastic spot here, though. We have to keep that in mind. His army supply is absolutely amazing. He is at 9 medevacs, though. That might, you know what, you should not make too many more medevacs, because that could become a potential problem later on.
Yeah, actually, you know, Liberators do really well on this map, so I would like him to throw down some, to make some Liberators and send them out into each bases. But he looks like he's content with this, kind of this Marine bow mixed with a few mech army composition, but we do have a bunch of engagement left and right. There's a Baneling. Oh, actually, burrow some Lings will. I mean, burrow some Banelings, but Dream has not fallen for it.
Yeah, well, he's just burrowing Banelings everywhere now, isn't he? On all the ramps. I really like this. I mean, so far we've not seen Dream really catch on to the fact that there are burrowed Banelings. Neither has he really been hit by them yet, though, either, so...
Yeah, he hasn't revealed it yet, so there could be one big engagement where those burrow Banelings will come and play, and he hasn't really spread his creep too far, because if he does spread it too far, then the Terran player will scan and then it will reveal the Oh, now he does see it.
Yeah. Gets spotted, cleans it up, and an enormous amount of Marines coming through here on the bottom, killing off a good amount of drones. Actually, killing off 3, and the Zerglings coming from all angles there. We're already on the retreating path, and now the Mutalisk should be able to clean this up quite easily. Targeting down the medevacs first. And gaining a good amount of value there. A little bit of a present for True.
Yeah, Dream has to be careful with these drops because there are mules out on the map. So if he's gonna drop, he's gonna have to be prepared to lose them because these mules can catch them on their retreat.
Yeah.
But anyhow, it looks like Dream has decided to try to take control of this watchtower area. But we do see, look at this little run by here on True onto the right side. Unfortunately for him, there's a Marine at the watchtower, so these supply depot all the way down needs to be lifted up immediately.
Be okay so far. More burrowed Banelings coming down everywhere. Ooh, setting off against the Widowmines. The burrowed Banelings of the Terran player. And, yeah, I mean, both players are at max supply. True, he is getting his Hive Tech right now. It's not incredibly late, right? It's okay. He just needs to survive here for a little bit longer, and he wants to try and get some sort of a high tech to make a move here. I don't think he can do much other than that, but he needs to stay alive, and that's going to be the real difficult part right here, as there's just attacks coming through everywhere, and it doesn't look like he has, well, okay, he has more than enough now on the left side to take care of this. A big, massive surround actually coming through here as well. Okay, circlings from everywhere. Doesn't lose too much, doesn't want to let the Banelings on to the Marauders though. Will it? Thor? Yeah, I mean, he cleans it up.
Yeah, even gets to use all these medevacs, so that forces the Terran player to have to invest into more medevac production. And yeah, I think that was okay for True, although I think he did lose one of his hatchery at the
Yeah.
9 o'clock position, so unfortunately for him. But you know what? That was a lot of scary forces that Dream had, and at the very least, he's alive.
And he did already retake another base here in the bottom right spot. Potentially it could go down really quickly as well, though, because of that small batch of bio coming in here right now as well. Gonna be able to stim and target it down potentially. Oh, it's gonna be tight. Those Banelings need to get right on top of the bio forces. Oh my god. Oh my god, the final shot of the Marauder there.
Oh man.
Very unfortunate for our Zerg player, and so far, did we get any type of high tech? We didn't really yet, did we? We are getting adrenal glands, so those Zerglings are going to be a lot more viable in a way. But other than that, True is just staying on this Baneling Muta style, and oh my god, massive Widowmine connection there. This is a horrible spot for True to engage into. He has nothing really on the flank here either. He's trying his best to kind of keep these Marauders at bay. He's investing so many Banelings to really make it work. And Dream is pushing on in here. Could this be the moment? A surround is coming in. This needs to connect pretty darn soon. Oh, the Widowmine there, though, in the back. Okay, it's set off onto the Zerglings. So the Banelings do manage to roll in. And another cleanup taking part here for True. Being able to potentially stabilize a little bit here again, but at what cost? Look at the supply, Snoopy. Look at those supplies.
Yeah, this is. I mean, all the Mulas are gone. He only is working off of Ling and Banelings, and Dream is taking a commanding position in this game. And all he needs to do is just keep up the relentless aggression, continue to get more bases, and he should be fine with his, or at least satisfied with where he's at right now.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what he's doing. As you were saying, he's taking bases, and you know what, he's denying creep, and he's gonna, you know what, I think he's gonna get another kill in this hatchery here in the bottom right side. Again, nothing here to spot. I mean, look at the creep spread as well. Does this look like a 16-minute Zerg creep spread to you?
Absolutely not. This is look like a slowly dying Zerg, actually.
Yeah. In he comes again. Banelings trying to get good connections, but I think, is this it? Does he clean up again? Just barely. It's getting closer and closer, though. It's becoming, you know what, with the incoming bio here as well, I think this might be it.
Yeah, look at that spread. Ooh, let's get one less
GG.
This is just too much. GG. Dream will win 2-0 against True.
And we have Dream and Zaun moving on into those final games that will happen on Sunday. Tomorrow we will have our next group, and I need to grab all the players here that will be participating, unless if you already have them from the top of your head.
Yeah, we have Australia, Creator, Dynamites, and Sue.
There you go. Yeah, oh my god, I'm looking forward to that one, honestly. Really looking forward to that one. Australia versus Sue, for example, already. That could be pretty darn cool for us Alpha X people. I'm not sure if he's going to be playing, though, of course. The potential that won't happen. But that's going to be a surprise, guys. We're going to keep it a secret for now, I guess. And, yeah, so come in back tomorrow when we will be back at the same time, same place, and with more StarCraft 2 games for you to enjoy. I hope you had a good time for today. We're gonna be heading off. Snoopy, should we let's just talk about the Meteorino for one more time, actually. If you do want to help out, make sure to grab that code. Go to the website that is right above there, above the chat window. If you go to the website, it should look like this. And then you should be able to very quick. Actually, let me do this real quick. Show you exactly everything you have to do. So you get Twitch, very easy to kind of log in automatically. You can use anything you want, Twitter, YouTube, whatever. Then you go to contribute and you type in the code, which I have over here, which is again above the chat window. So all you got to add a little bit of extra dough to the prize pool. And yeah, if you feel like you want to do more, if you want to help out more just for free, well, that is possible. You can do some quests over here. Very easy stuff. Just click on it and you will like something for the punch list MMA, for example, Twitter quests. Just lovely stuff. All right, enough of that. Enough of that Maturino shenanigans. Snoopy, that was a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, we had some really nice games. A lot of varieties in terms of maps, matchups, and even play styles. So yeah, it was a really fun time.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad you were here with me. I had a blast casting with you, buddy. And yeah, I mean,
Yes.
I'll be back here tomorrow. I don't believe you will be here. I think that we'll have another co-caster. Let me see actually who will be coming in. I think I was told at some point.
Yeah, but either way,
it's unsure.
yeah,
It's unsure.
I look forward to tomorrow's games as well as Sunday's game. So yeah, we'll have fun casting, and I'll be watching and rooting on.
We'll see. We'll see what happens, man. All right. Yeah. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. And see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.